Higurashi, When They Cry, by 7th Expansion, narrated by Galwano. Hello! So, yeah, this is gonna be one of my first of two visual novels. I plan to, read through, that being Higurashi When They Cry, or more commonly known as Higurashi no Naku Koro ni. This is kind of one of those animes I decided to put on my all-time favorite list because I love the anime so much I couldn't resist having the game on the list as well. The other one will be Clannad. I'm thinking of doing it around the spring next year, considering spring is a common year. I don't know, spring was a common setting in Clannad. So yeah, as always, let's get started. Chapter 1, Onikakushi-Hen. Welcome to the world of Higurashi When They Cry. The Onikakushi arc will be the opening inviting you into this world. Don't play tough. Please enjoy life in Hinamizawa to the fullest. The difficulty is extremely high, but I hope you'll enjoy the reward. Oh god, the laughter. Please do not lament. I will forgive you even if the world will not forgive you. Please do not lament. I will forgive you even if you will not forgive the world. So please tell me, what would it take for you to forgive me? Frederica Birkenstill. This is a work of fiction. Any resemblance... AD 1983. God. If I was going to be ripped apart anyways, having my body ripped out would have been far better. I trusted her. No, I still trust her. Even in this very moment, I trust her. But I'm starting to realize I only wanted to trust her because I refused to accept the truth. It was as if I was trying to convince myself in such a silly, sobbing voice, and those tears... Okay. That mechanical, repetitive sound finally stilled, and everything fell silent. Only the cry of the cicadas remained annoyingly loud, and yet... I felt as if I could still hear her voice, but that's not possible. She's no longer speaking. The only one crying is me. She never cried. Even when she repeated those words over and over, she never expressed any emotion because there was none to show. If she had no tears to shed for me, then I shouldn't need to shed any for her. Then why? This pain, my eyes getting moist, why was this happening? I still wanted to believe I hadn't been split apart. That's enough, right? Inside me, an inner voice whispered gently. My spirit had suffered enough, and countless times I wavered over whether I should just throw the battered thing away, except I've stubbornly refused to do that, haven't I? I'd feel better if I just threw it away. Even knowing that, I chose to believe, didn't I? Only I can understand that painful struggle and appreciate it. Hey, me. I've tried more than enough. I'll acknowledge that much. So... isn't it alright to take it the easy way out? Besides, I'm not throwing it away. I'm leaving it behind, with her, like flowers by a grave. Now then, calm your nerves. Even though you can't feel your right arm, just lift it up. And every swing, forget a little more. That kindness made me happy. That adorable smile brought me joy. I liked petting your head. I loved how demure you were. Because this will be the last time. Because when I swing this down, I'll forget. This is my first and last bouquet for you. Perhaps I really did love you. Higurashi when they cry. Let me see if this is not too loud on my end. Somebody has been apologizing for a while now. I wonder what she's apologizing for. Oops. Menu. Config. I wonder what she's apologizing for. It felt wrong to eavesdrop, so I tried to ignore it. It had been a while since I'd last went to the city. I only returned to attend the funeral of a relative. Even though I lived there until last month, I found the bustle of the city to be overwhelming. Those skyscrapers and the multi-lane roads, the melodious cacophony of the crosswalks, even the campaign speeches blaring in front of the station felt nostalgic. The place where I live now isn't nearly as lively. There's only the chirping of locusts and the babbling of brooks, and the cry of the Higurashi, the evening cicadas. Rather than making me feel lonely. And hello to everyone in the stream. Welcome and enjoy the show. Rather than making me feel lonely, that quietness had begun to instill a sense of serenity. There's nothing where I'm living now. I don't just mean there aren't any burger joints. There aren't even vending machines. No music stores, no restaurants, no arcades. Even an ice cream parlor would be unlikely. The nearest town has some stuff like that, but it's an hour away by bike. But come to think of it, it really wasn't a big deal. There were music stores and arcades and ice cream parlors, but it wasn't like I ever hung out at any of them. I had lived in the city for 10 years and never once been to an ice cream parlor. I should have gone at least once. It's only now that I'm starting to regret that a little. Somebody is still apologizing. Who is she apologizing to? She apologized so much, so just forgive her already. There's no reason anyone should ever need to apologize so much. I started to feel a bit annoyed at whoever was refusing to forgive her. No matter how bad the mistakes were, there's nothing that can't be forgiven. There's no such thing as a irreparable mistake. You just need to be a bit more careful next time. She's still apologizing, even now. Then, has she really done something that can't be fixed? I have no idea what she's done, but if it can't be fixed, then that's all the more reason to forgive her. No matter how much she apologizes, nothing will change. But even so, she keeps apologizing in such a heartbreaking voice. Hey you, the one she's apologizing to. Why don't you just go ahead and forgive her? Apologizing in such a pathetic voice. Keiji, we're almost here. Wake up! I was finally roused from my nap by my father's prodding. It seemed the train had reached its final stop. We spent hours riding everything from the bullet train to the local routes. It was hard to believe that the landscape beyond the window and the city I was in half a day ago were in the same country. No, that they were even from the same era. From there, we take a car deeper into the mountains. Oh my god, all the images. As for the dense forest encroaching on the mountain road suddenly opened up. Welcome to Hinamizawa. There where I live now, Hinamizawa. At least you'll be hearing me reading for a good reading a book for a good 4 hours, instead of me being quiet, blowing away enemy soldiers and zombies and bugs and etc. and demons, and taking care of a family. Okay, even though we were approaching summer, the morning air still had a frigid bite. Although in exchange, you could fill your lungs up with crisp, clean air. It would probably feel like that one if I ever lived in the suburbs. Flipping open the window, I was greeted with a verdant expanse. Nothing but trees. The neighboring house was far away on the other side, so I was probably the only one enjoying that view and that air. I filled my lungs with another deep breath. Since I started living in Hinamizawa, I learned that even air had its own taste. I quickly finished getting ready for school and headed downstairs for breakfast. My mother was the only one there. My father was nowhere to be seen. He was probably working up until the early morning. Dad had a rather unconventional job as a painter. It's such a laid-back profession. Get up when you want, sleep when you want, and work what you want when you want. Sounds a lot like live streaming. I was so jealous of that easygoing lifestyle. I even wrote for school that I wanted to be a painter when I grew up. Dad was ecstatic about that. It was just because it looked easy. I'd never tell him that though. Mom laid breakfast out on the table. Seed-wheat pickled vegetables, raw egg, and grilled salmon. My mom was such a good cook. It was scary. A perfect, immaculate, ideal breakfast. Unlike my dad, who didn't know the meaning of the word schedule, my mom never squandered any time or effort. She hummed a little tune as she brought over the miso soup. It seemed like she was in a good mood today. I'm so happy you've been waking up early since we moved here, KG. If I don't wake up early, I won't have time to eat breakfast. I thought I was being cute, responding with a wisecrack after being praised for being good. Full bowl of rice, or will half be enough? Pile it on. First I savored the steaming hot rice with the seaweed. After that, I covered it with the egg. Between the bites of rice, I enjoyed the crunch of the pickles. Not bad at all. Excellent as usual. Watching me clean my plate, Mom gave me a warm smile. I'm so happy you haven't skipped breakfast ever since we moved here, KG. I was not a morning person when we lived in the city. I slept until the last minute before school and rarely ate breakfast. Boycotting the breakfast Mom made me each morning, that was probably the only way I could protest being forced to attend cram school. I guess that was what you call my rebellious phase. I wouldn't so much as look at the breakfast she'd woke up early every day to make. If I go back in time, I'd slap myself. Mindful at the time, Mom rushed me along with a wide grin. Isn't it time to meet up with Rena-chan? Hurry, hurry! Mom really seemed to enjoy the fact that her son was going to school with a girl. Rena is one of my classmates. She really loves looking after people, coming to meet me every day without fail. The way I looked at it, a guy my age walking to school with a girl was just lame. But well, keeping a classmate waiting for me every day wouldn't be very considerate. Seriously though, how long does Rena wait there for me every morning? Taking one last gulp of miso soup, I raced for the door. Welcome back, Maroon. Please thank Rena-chan for the pickles. Come to think of it, those pickles weren't store-bought, were they? If I'd known that, I would have savored them a bit more. Morning. Introducing, and thanks for the cheers, Maroon. Really appreciate that. Introducing Rena Ryugu. Keiji-kun, good morning. Her cheerful greeting was as fresh as the morning itself. Lunchtime is a pretty nice song. You're always so early. You should try sleeping in sometime. If I'd sleep in, I'll keep you waiting. She's so conscientious and such a good person. Yeah, I know, Maroon. If that ever happens, I'll leave you behind. Keiji-kun, you're so cold. I wait for you all the time. I'll leave you in the dust, without looking back. Why are you so mean? Why? Rena, and thanks for the cheers again, Maroon. Really appreciate that. And like I said, you're gonna be hearing me reading for a good 4 hours instead of being quiet in some segments. And thanks for the cheers, Hoaxin. I really appreciate that. Rena had a slightly troubled look on her face. Toying with her was rather fun because of how quickly her mood changed. I'm kidding, I'd wait for you. Those words, Rena seemed to relax. Her face flushed bright red. Yeah, instead of me being quiet during when I'm like blasting clone soldiers, bugs, zombies, taking care of a family, saving a little sister from a witch, etc., like stuff like that. Instead, you'll just hear me reading a book for a good 4 hours. And thanks for the cheers again, Maroon. Really appreciate that. Thank you. I'd wait forever until you came, Rena. No matter how long. Forever. Rena turned bright red, steam rising from her head as her brain short-circuited. She's especially weak to this sort of talk. It's quite rare to find someone this fun to tease. Have you ever read a romance novel, Rena? Huh? I haven't. Never read any before. From that response, I gathered she was interested in them, but was too embarrassed to actually buy one. I couldn't imagine what would happen if she did read one. She'd probably turn red and pass out. With the sight of nose bleeding? I couldn't help but make that remark. Oh yeah, message from Mom. She said thanks for the pickles. It was nothing, you're welcome. How were they? Not too salty? They weren't that salty. Actually, they had a pretty light flavor to them. It would have been fine, to be honest, and say they were good, but apparently I couldn't be that forthright. I'd like to ask something before that. Were you the one who pickled them, Rena? Or was it your mom? Huh? Huh? Why do you ask? Were they too salty? Her attitude completely changed as she began to panic frantically. Was it you, Rena, or was it your mom? What? Why are you asking who made them? Why? Depending on who made them, my opinion of them might change drastically. Oh. She counted frantically on her finger, trying to... I know, I see, Maroon. Trying to remember the amount of salt she used to pickle them. It wasn't like I was trying to tease her, but I couldn't stop myself. And for the curious, there is another set of artwork for the characters, but I wanted to stick with the original just for the charm of... because just like Toho, for me, the artwork has this weird charm for me. I suppose I could show it to you. Let me finish this. It wasn't like I was trying to tease her, but I couldn't stop myself. Guys who take pleasure in this kind of thing are probably the worst. Guys like me. Let me show this real quick. Config. I'm pretty sure you saw character sprites. Like so. Yeah, now Maroon's just gonna talk about cooking, it looks like. Yeah, this is the updated artwork, but for me, like Toho, this artwork has this weird charm because I guess it was, considering this was a two-man team, I know a guy and his brother worked on this. Kind of like Zune, I guess it has this sort of weird charm for me that can't be matched with the fan art and the anime, and thanks for the cheers again. Rena nervously opened and closed her mouth over and over, trying to muster a response. It was me. Plus you got this border background to please you guys. Delicious. Huh? Pretty good, just like the last ones. They went perfectly with the rice. Her face went bright red again. She was completely spacing out. It was truly a lot of fun to tease her. I pray that Rena never gets taken advantage of by some lowlife. Keep at it, Rena. I'll train you until you handle it, like the average person. Or so I decided myself. Let's go. If Mion keeps waiting... Oh, let's go. If we keep Mion waiting, we'll never hear the end of it. Seeing as she just keeps spacing out otherwise, I called Rena back to reality so we could make our way to school. This strange, easily flustered girl is Rena Ryugu. I've only known her for about a month, but I've come to realize it's not just her name that's strange. Oh, I see. Mi-chan, good morning! Coming up to the next rendezvous point, we saw another person waiting for us. Noticing us, she waved. Haha, finally! You two are late! Usually, you're the one who's late. In sharp contrast to the diligent Rena, this one marched to the beat of her own drum. She's Mion Sonosaki. For what it's worth, she's our senior and head of the class. Morning, Rena, and it's been a while, Kei-chan. Oh my god, I remember being part of a guild and calling a guildie with a similar name like Keiji and calling him that nickname. Kei-chan, of course. How many years? I was off only 2 days. Ha ha ha! You don't say. You were so much cuter back then. Mion's gaze at my chest then dropped straight down, focusing to the point between my legs. So she was saying that it was my... that was cuter back then. Before you ask, just to be clear, I've never actually tried to show it to her. I've grown quite splendidly. You'd be surprised. Oh my god, is she joking about what I'm thinking about? Huh? Not only is he bigger, but he has a little mustache now. Being so engorged with the energy every morning is quite a problem, though. I'll introduce you next time. Be sure to greet him properly. Don't say next time. Right now is just fine. About letting the little guy get a breath of fresh morning air. Ah, I see, Maroon. I don't think I've ever talked so dirty you could smell it fouling up the morning air before. Mion sure does act like an old man sometimes. Isn't she tomboyish, though? Gotcha. Time for the big reveal. Hope you don't regret it. As my hand reached for my fly, Rena began to ramble in near panic. Hey! What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Red-faced and flustered, Rena tried to play dumb, but it was obvious she knew exactly what we were talking about. How was it? Seeing the city again. Mion switched gears, dropping the dirty talk and changing the topic to something more befitting the pleasant morning. I only went for a funeral. I didn't have much time. So yeah, did you look for it? That thing I asked for. You're not listening at all. I just came back from a funeral. I didn't have any time to look around in toy stores. Toy stores and hobby shops are completely different, you know. It's really difficult to get Western stuff around here after all. Is this about games again, Mi-chan? Mion nodded proudly as Rena giggled. Yep, I wanted K-chan to bring me back a Westport catalog, you see. Westport was short for Western imported games, like Monopoly or Sorry or the Game of Life. Because I know this was before like all the board games that came out, or something like D&D, since that came out, or since that was popular around that year Higurashi takes place. Using that abbreviation did make it sound pretty geeky. You can just get him to send you one in the mail, can't you? Well, I have to now, I guess. Well, guess I have to now. I'm going to get another game full of hot action. This time, I'd like a game that's so easy to understand. Mion is a board and card game enthusiast, and I hear she's collected a lot of different ones. I didn't know there was this like around 1983 though, Maroon? Because that's the year it takes place. According to Rena, Mion's room has become a museum for domestic and foreign games. If there's a game you think I'd understand, let me play too. Of course. If K-chan is up for it, I should warn you, though, we're pretty tough. Just what I want. I play all sorts of games I don't intend to lose. Whoa! Then we'll let you in the group this time, I guess. Let me quick save. Bristling with joy from head to toe, Rena looked back and forth between me and Mion. Mion gave her an affirmative wink, and her expression perked up even further. Mocha. I thought boys preferred playing outside more, so I figured you wouldn't want to. Rena laughed happily. From such a friendly conversation, you wouldn't think I had moved here less than a month ago. I understood that they did all they could to make a transfer student like me feel at home. Yeah, I know that, Maroon. I know what a mocha coffee is. I'll have to try harder to fit in, so they won't feel like they have to try to make me feel welcome. I felt like if I acted a bit more open than I usually am, it should probably be right for this place. I gotta be right back real quick. I gotta get some water. We'll see, Maroon. And I'm back. Hinamizawa was a really small village. Not only was there only one school, but there was only one class. That class encompasses all different grades and ages. There are about 30 students at different levels, and they all study in the same class. I'm told that not long ago, there used to be a bigger school building, and they had actual separate classes. However, it seems something happened that made it become a single class, and now it's stayed that way out of tradition. I was shocked at first, but humans adapt pretty quickly. I've already gotten quite used to it. The sound of children playing started right from the morning. With such a lively mood, it felt more like a kindergarten than a proper school. Not that that was a bad thing. Mion, who had been walking in front of us up until then, suddenly let me take the lead. Right in front of the classroom door. So I was meant to slide the door open and enter the room first. Too bad. I wasn't going to fall for that again. To think you give up the lead here. You meant for this to be a test of my skills. Oh my god. Mion chuckled with a haughty smirk on her face. What is it, you guys? Step back, Rena. It's dangerous. She's here. Huh? Then Satoko-chan is? Her name was Satoko Hojo. She was a disrespectful, impudent, bossy kid. The way she talks was annoying, but it would be immature to get worked up over just that. The real problem was this. Quite the obvious trap, a blackboard eraser wedged in the door. It's too obvious! Satoko! A haughty laugh came from beyond the door. Excellent, Kei-chan. I guess that means you win this round. No, this is Satoko we're talking about. I doubt this is it. After falling for such intricate traps since the day I transferred, I no longer let my guard down. Satoko liked to combine a variety of traps, Traps that were simply there to bait you into the main one. Traps that relentlessly kept coming at you like a sadistic Rube Goldberg machine. The list goes on. Yeah, indeed, Maroon. As clever as well as being clevered, they almost never misfire. When you least expect it, she strikes. No escape, no time to relax. By the looks of it, the eraser is normal. Oh, okay, Maroon. No rocks or anything in it. I took a pretty heavy hit from a blackboard eraser loaded with rocks on my first day. So then why don't you just open the door and let it drop? That's what it is. That's what Satoko was after. Making me focus my attention upward. So as I lifted my hand to the door, there were thumbtacks stuck to the sliding door handled with a tape, a frightening trap. A potent and terrifying trap. Concealed by using the black door eraser. An impressive combination, Satoko. What do you mean, Maroon? But in the end, nothing more than the trivial machinations of a child. Assured of my victory, I threw the door open and stepped into the room. Oh boy, I felt something strange at my ankle. It was similar to the sensation of a jump rope catching on my leg. Oh boy! By the time I realized she had me hook, line, and sinkered. It was already too late. I began to fall in an almost picturesque manner. Kei-chan, watch out! Instinctively reacting to Mion's shrill warning, I twisted my body in midair before I landed on the floor. Ow, ow, ow! An inkstone filled to the brim was placed right where I would have landed. I shuddered, imagining the situation had I landed square on it. My, what do we have here? A fair morning to you, Keiji-san? Aren't we a lively one this morning? Still sprawled in an awkward position, I was greeted by a mocking voice. That was a step up from your usual trap, Satoko. I haven't the faintest idea what you mean. You're quite unlucky this morning. You little... Ow! It seemed I inadvertently sprained my back a little when I'd landed. Better than landing on that inkstone. Here's another favorite character of mine. A small hand gently rubbed my head. Pain, go away. The small dainty hand continued to gently stroke my head. You didn't strain your back or anything, did you? If you rub it like this, the pain disappears. I thought asking about rubbing my head would help my back, but I didn't. I should actually mention this as well. I've read the manga of this chapter and even watched the episodes of it as well. So I have some knowledge of what's gonna happen next. It's not so much about what you actually do, it's the thought that counts. Yeah, thanks, Rika-chan. Exactly, Maroon. The pain's going away now. Though purplish blue, I say maroon. Yay, Rika-chan, good morning! Good morning to you, Rena. A good morning to all. Rika-chan greeted each of us with an adorable little bow. It was infectious. Rena, Mion, and I all bowed back. You're such a good kid, Rika-chan. So much better than Satoko. I glared over her in her direction. Satoko was whistling while rather deliberately trying to avoid my eye contact. I am the very model of a good girl. A good girl wouldn't set those nasty traps. Nothing but lies and slander. Exactly what proof? Ooh-ah! I picked up Satoko by the back of her collar. She looks like a misbehaved cat when I do this, but a cat wouldn't be setting traps. What do I look like besides being cute? That's all I could say, Maroon. Cute. She's much harder to deal with. I am S-O-R-R-Y. Try saying that. If you won't say it. I cocked my index finger on my thumb, letting it tremble as I brought it closer to Satoko's forehead. I'm against violence. You don't even have any proof. Just so you know, my forehead flick really hurts. And can split plywood right in half. Eek! Stop! Get away from me, you beast! Don't say that in a way people will misunderstand. A small hand tugged on the back of my shirt. She's been lonely since you were gone for 2 days. Rika-chan is really just so... How could I say anything more after being told that? I gently released my grip on Satoko, who at this point was on the verge of tears. She still had her eyes clamped shut as she braced herself for the forehead flick. Wow. Yeah, indeed, Maroon. It doesn't bother me. Wow. Oh my god, that sound I make, though. You mustn't cry, Satoko. Keep on fighting. Yeah. Rika gently petted the head of her prankster friend. You would never guess those two are the same age. I think Satoko could learn a thing or a million from Rika-chan. Next time, set an even more amazing trap. Wait a minute. As she observed the scene, Rena's expressions grew ecstatic as she began to swoon. How? Satoko-chan is crying. She's cute. Then before her trademark war cry probably say, you can't take him home. Oh, but they're so cute. You can't, no matter how cute they are. But just for a bit, it's fine. Rena kept a cutesy face, even as outrageous ideas spewed from her mouth. According to Mion, Rena is ridiculously weak to cute things and always tries to take them home. Object or person. I actually gotta show you a clip of that after the stream, you guys. Stealing is bad, but abducting people is even worse. Give it up. Then I can just look. Just looking. That should be fine, right? Right? Rena swooned over Satoko's crying form. If a girl ever... Yeah. If a girl ever goes missing in Hinamizawa, I'll be forced to turn Rena in to the authorities. Forgive me, Rena. I'll be sure to bring you care packages when they put you away. The teacher's coming. Quickly, clean everything up. Satsuko, that ink stone is yours, what, right? Just from Mion's single statement, the entire mood of the room shifted back to normal. Yeah, indeed, take your seats. The inkstone was bad, but the thumbtacks stuck to the door handle were an even bigger problem. I pulled the tape off carefully, making sure not to skewer myself. Even though Satoko was the one who set it up, everyone had to pick up after her. By the time the teacher entered the room, the bed lamp from before had been neatly tidied up. We made it in time. Rise, attention. Mion gave out the morning commands. It's difficult being the teacher for all these different grades in one classroom. She has to teach something different to each one. But naturally, she ends up spending all her time with the younger kids. Rena and Mion, being in the highest grade in the class, end up mostly doing self-study. They even end up helping teach the younger kids, so it seems they can never get to their own studies. Hello, Neptunia, how are you doing tonight? They're actually way behind where my studies have progressed to. As a result, I'm pretty much taking over for the teacher and helping Rena and Mion with their studies. Welcome to the stream if this is your first time here. You're a pretty good teacher, Keiji-kun. I'm good, just reading a horror story for you guys. Easy to understand. Rena took a breather after finishing highlighting an important section. Teaching is making me lose confidence. It makes me aware of how shallow my understanding of the subject is. And thanks for the follow, Neptunia. I really appreciate that. They say that to teach someone something, you need to understand it backwards and forwards. That's like a common thought I had with teaching people languages, like English, for example. So while you're teaching us, you're getting in your own practice. I did not. I think I've actually heard that before, or again for the Switch, I probably was just dreaming. Oh my god, all the games coming out like Diablo 3 on the Switch though. In contrast, and even like the Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles games. In contrast, this person over here is quite laissez-faire about things. For one, isn't she supposed to be in a higher grade than me? If you're talking about Higurashi, they're supposed to release 2 more chapters on Steam Rune. Look, Mion, this is for your own good. If you don't take this seriously, there'll be trouble later on with these marks. It's not like I'm aiming to go on to a prestigious school. I'll be fine as long as I pick up what I need to know for the entrance exam a little at a time. I mean, used to love the anime a lot and manga when I was a junior in high school, Neptunia. And that was like back in 2008. I actually got the first chapter as a birthday gift in 2015. I see. I always prefer the original art, to be honest. Like I said, it has like this weird charm that the fan arts and animes can't match. Kind of like Toho. Her staunch defiance was really something else. This was a different type of relax than somebody who already knew what was going on to be on the entrance exam. Mii-chan, Keiji-kun, is doing his best to teach us. We need to try hard too. You're such a good and honest kid, Rena. I'll make sure you guys get accepted into a good school. What? Thanks so much. Especially you, Rena. Private lessons, just the two of us. That would have been sweet, teaching a girl stuff. Especially in high school. Assuming that Rena and Keiji are in the same grade. Private lessons? I hope she's not thinking dirty. Oh my god. A puff of smoke shaped like a halo popped out of Rena's head. Especially what kind of private lessons is she fantasizing about that's making her turn so red? I'd like to hear the play-by-play about that next time. Yeah, last time I read, Rena is 15 years old. And I was like a sophomore in 2007. For the curious, I just turned 26 2 months ago. While Mion was flipping through her vocabulary flashcards, she threw out a casual question. So in the city, do you have to study this much? I would assume so. If you don't know at least this much, you can't get into university. So you study just to get into a university? Well, yeah, basically. While knowing that this stuff won't ever come in handy in the future. Out here, you can get into university as long as your attendance is good enough. Really? Study equals entrance exams. Having that basic law of the universe is so easily overturned. The universe so easily overturned sent me into a state of shock. That is right. There aren't really enough people around here to warrant weeding them out with an exam. If anyone could get into universities, then there's no need to be all uptight about this stuff, right? Well, that's true, but you should at least know stuff that's common knowledge. This old geezer thinks that instead of wasting time studying pointlessly, you should be spending your precious teen years doing more meaningful things. It was too profound of a statement to simply laugh off. I see. I used to be a pretty big, like I said, I used to be a pretty big fan of this when I was still in high school, along with Clannad the year after. I'm actually planning to do a stream around the spring if I finish this before Clannad, if I finish this before I start Clannad. But it was since Mion, it probably didn't actually have that deep of a meaning. Yeah, it's gonna get a little... You did see the beginning, Maroon, right? It's gonna get dark soon. In the place of a chime, the sound of the principal waving a handbell drifted through the classroom. Hey Chan, we're done! It's our wonderful lunchtime. In a complete 180 from her unmotivated state, Mion gave the commands that signaled the end of the morning period. Oops. I should not be pressing I should not have my finger on the mouse wheel. Keiji-kun, let's have lunch. Hopefully you guys seem alright. Hopefully I'm doing good with my Japanese pronunciation. Oh my god, I could definitely agree with Doki Doki Literature Club. I've never seen Race Zero though. I might have been making a very troubled face. Rena smiled brightly at me. Alright, let's eat. There seemed to be different cliques, even with the class. Most of them were divided up by gender and age, but our group was different. Our ages were different, and we had both boys and girls. But we weren't reserved around each other. This level of openness makes a transfer student like me pretty happy. Rena and Mion pushed their desks together so they were facing each other. At the same time, Satoko and Rika-chan were slowly lugging their desk over as well. Eiji-kun, hurry! Nice puzzle! That's cute. Seriously, I wonder how it looks on the updated artwork, out of curiosity. Aww. Looks pretty bland. Oh yeah. Definitely agree with that. I've never was interested in Doki Doki Literature Club. Rena waved her chopsticks in an unrefined manner, trying to hurry me along. Unless everyone was together, they wouldn't even open their lunch boxes. So when is this game gonna come out on the Xbox One? Since I'm Switch aside, regarding Xbox One versus PS4, I'm more of a Xbox One gamer outside of Switch and PC. Keiji-san lunchbox is most assuredly filled with nothing but bread crust, like some sort of destitute plebeian. Why don't you just show it to us? Come now. Even though Satoko was hurling insults at me, she still wouldn't open the lid to her lunchbox until I was there. I pulled out my lunchbox swiftly and dragged my chair over to join the circle. Sorry to keep you waiting. Well then, Representative Me, please give me the signal to start. Got a quick save as well. I want to check how my saves look. Ah, okay. Let me save here as well. Just for backup's sake. At first, this was kind of embarrassing, but I got used to it pretty fast. At this point, I probably wouldn't even open my own lunchbox if someone else was too slow. Our ages and genders may have all been different, but we were all friends. Let's eat! The sound of our little 5-part chorus echoed beautifully throughout the classroom. Really though, I've gotten pretty used to this group made up of all girls. It's a pretty good harem though. Jeez. Of course, there are other boys in the class, but they were a lot younger, so they were scared to approach me. Oh, that's to be expected. Yeah, I'm not surprised, to be honest. I mean, just from the images people show and videos. Yeah. Isn't this game like linear as well compared to Doki Doki Literature Club? At least like by chapter? Well, that's to be expected. Younger boys just see older boys as scary. Compared that to girls, at least all these girls aren't picky. We all put the side dishes in the middle where everybody was free to pick at them. My sister's continuing on with Fallout 4. I thought girls would mind sharing a meal with a guy, so I was a bit flustered joining in. However, Mio noticed that and teased me quite a bit. As the fruit of my efforts, yeah, I'm definitely with you on that. I think you could blame all the YouTubers making millions of playthroughs of it. I can now reach over and take sides from anybody's lunch. My, isn't Sir Keiji's lunch extravagant today? My, isn't Madame Satoko lunch extravagant as well? Oh, I see Maroon. Hopefully you guys, like I asked, my Japanese pronunciation is pretty decent. Because there's guys like me who'd rather pronounce Pokemon instead of like what every single YouTuber pronounces it as. I can't even say it now. The stewed stuff has a nice look to it, rather trendy. Pine into the fight that Satoko was starting, our chopsticks locked in a cross counter, stabbing into each other's lunch. My, how delicious! Oh, this Taro is good. The stewed stuff is good too. Even cold, after seeing my happy face, Rika-chan expressions broke into a little smile. And I will mention my favorite characters in Higurashi is mainly Rena, but there's also Rika and another person that'll be coming into play soon. I don't want to spoil it for the people watching this for the first time. I think she comes in the later chapters. I saved some from dinner last night. Yeah, I wondered too, Maroon. By the way, Satoko and Rico... Oh my god, I said Rico! By the way, Satoko and Rika-chan lunches are always the same. It seems that Rika-chan makes it for both of them every day. Rika-chan made this too? These taste like mom's home cooking. I was honestly impressed. The carrots rosette weren't from a mold. They were done by hand with a knife. That's not easy to do. I guess Rika-chan's just good at this sort of thing. She's really good at sewing, laundry, and stuff like that. Amazing, right? Amazing. Rika is quite exceptional in many ways. Oh, that's nothing for you to boast about. Rena's actually better at cooking than I am. Huh? Well, you know. It seemed that the topic of conversation switched to Rena when she wasn't expecting it, making her blush and trip over her words. Rena's lunch really was the star of the table. Not only did it look good, it tasted good. Everyone else pulled from Rena's lunch constantly. Everyone liked this one so much before, so it made it a lot this time. It's good, I hope. I hope? It's got high marks from me. Ah, Mion, you're taking too much. Knocking Mion's chopstick aside, I reach out, trying to secure my own portion. Satoko and Rika-chan reached over at the same time, and struggle ensued. Everyone shoveled in mouthful after mouthful while praising it, and Rena's lunchbox was soon empty. Poor Rena. It was kind of bad that no one thought to leave any for Rena, but Rena seemed satisfied as she looked on. Yeah, Shion Sonosaki is greater than Gasai. I'm definitely with you on that. Yeah, indeed, Maroon. How did you like it? Isn't Rena-san an extremely good cook too? Quite different from Keiji-san. I said that's nothing for you to boast about. You're not much different from Kei-chan, Satoko. You told the difference between broccoli and cauliflower yet? How is that? They look completely different to me. Yeah, I'm with you on that, Maroon. Poor Rena. Satoko's face went pale. Hey, even I can tell you the difference between broccoli and cauliflower, you know. Of course I can. I really can. It's really hard for her to lie. Keiji-kun, both taste good when they're boiled and topped with mayo, right? That pole she's doing with the face as well. That's funny. You shouldn't be picking on when they're boiled and topped with mayo, right? You shouldn't be picking on her. Me-chan too. Rena hurriedly tried to follow up, but Mion laughed haughtily as she drew her to Satoko. Oh, I see. I never seen those. I never seen Mirai Nikki, honestly. Never was into it. Like, I think the last good anime I've seen, in my opinion, was Puella Magi Madoka Magica. That was the last good anime I've seen. That was airing at the time, of course, or after. Well, just pretend it's a little home ec lesson. Now then, Satoko, what's this? That was like back in 2011. Mio lifted up her chopsticks. Between them was a piece of green stuff wrapped in bacon. But that's asparagus. Oh my god, I can even envision what asparagus is. Jeez. Mion made eye contact with me, and within 3 seconds, I've noticed a typo there. I had Rika-chan's mouth covered. Is it bad with veggies, Maroon? Or holding a piece of bacon wrapped asparagus and giving bacon wrap? Jeez. Giving her 2 choices, she's pretty terrible. The yellow one is cauliflower. Oh wait, the green one is cauliflower. So which? Probably the yellow one is Oh my god, what is she talking about? I know yellow would usually be corn. I don't even know what. I never seen like a blue veggie though. And congrats on leveling up, Neptunia. Probably the yellow one is broccoli and the blue one is cauliflower. The green one is ooh. Oh, oh my god, the only example I could think of regarding yandere is like, aside from Higurashi, though, I don't think one of them had a lover. I know Shion did, definitely. Yeah, looks like it. I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, Katsura Kotonoha. That's one example I could think of that's a pretty good yandere. Do you really know which is which? How about you just give up? I'd expect no less from the class representative. The oldest, the way she drives people into a corner, just how much experience she has. This is just a hunch. But being brought into the Sonosaki household, it must be quite the ordeal. I do know. I do know, I really do. Then answer the question. I know. Ooh, I'm just curious how that pose looks in the... I'm gonna be doing this a lot. My bad. Oh, it doesn't look as ridiculous, but okay. Yeah, I know, Maroon. That's pretty amazing. She finally broke down and started crying. When she acts like this, she's actually starts to seem her age. How cute! Hang on. Rena entered a state of euphoria as Satoko bawled her eyes out. Rena was in a state of bliss as she rubbed her cheeks against Satoko's head and smothered her. Really a very content face. One that wouldn't care if the world ended right then. It was that kind of smile. Rena! Mimi is picking on me. Ooh, on. Cute. It's okay, Rena One-chan. We'll take care of all those bad people who tease my little sister. Oh, jeez. Whoosh, boom, bam. Boof, bam. It was like a flash of lightning. What was that just now? Over Rena's fist shot out at supersonic speed, striking Mion and me squarely in our faces. Before we knew it, Mion and I were sprawled spread eagle on the floor, staring up at the ceiling with matching welts on our faces. This is the first time you've gotten one, right? Today, she went easy on us. Easy? You mean there's something harder than this? With that, Mion and I slumped our heads back to the floor in unison. From now on, I'll be careful when I'm within striking distance of Rena. Hang on, be right back. See, Satoko-chan? I took care of them. Cute. I want to take you home. Or in Japanese, omochikairi. Making sure Rena couldn't see it, Satoko stuck her tongue out at us. Dang it all, using Rena like a puppet. Rika-chan massaged our bruises without saying a word. Oh, this is a pretty song. No matter what the day had held, the last school bell always came too soon. Our shadows stretch off into the distance. Hey, Keiji-kun, tomorrow, do you have plans or anything? Or anything? Oh my god, the music is really taking me 10 to 12 years back. Huh? Actually, 8 to 12 years back. It was such a direct question from Rena, I inadvertently blushed. If it was for a date, then you wouldn't do it more subtly. Rena saw me lost for words and realized that I'd misunderstood and turned red as well. No, I didn't mean it like that, you see. So apparently that wasn't what she meant. But since it's always fun when Rena's in a state of panic, I went along with it a little. Oh, really? So it wasn't meant that way? Huh? Playing it up, I slumped my shoulders, feigning dejection. Keiji-kun, why are you so disappointed? Why? Mi-chan! Unable to hold it any longer, Mion slapped me on the back. I see, this little geezer never knew you could push her buttons like that. Wahahaha! Huh? What is it? Mion was rolling on the floor, clutching her stomach, while Rena flailed around, completely bewildered. I couldn't help but start laughing as well, feeling just a bit guilty. I ruffled Rena's hair. Kidding, sorry, it was a joke. That was my fault. She really is a cute one. Huh? A joke? Since when? Huh? About halfway through. Halfway? So Kei-chan, that means you weren't acting when you blushed at the start. Huh? That means... It was only momentary lapse, but there was no way Mion would let such a delectable detail slip by her. Well, you see, saying anything more was also a bad idea. In my bewildered state, I slipped further into an unfavorable position. Also, Neptunia, if you're still around, personally I prefer Rena over, Gasai. After that, Mion continued to tease me about it for a while. So why were you asking if I'm free tomorrow, Rena? Huh? Oh, what were we talking about? It had been so long that Rena had forgotten. That's how long Mion had teased me. I do love how the background is just a photograph, photoshopped a bit. It just looks blurry. It's just Kei-chan. You probably can't find your way around Hinamizawa by yourself yet, can you? That was true. I hate to say it, but if you blindfolded me and spun me around 3 times, like we're playing pin the tail on the donkey, I wouldn't be able to tell up from down here. Yeah, I don't think I know anywhere besides back and forth from school. Yes, so you see, tomorrow we were thinking that Mi-chan and I could escort you through Hinamizawa and show you around. That would be godsend. Frankly, I was happy about the offer. Well, yeah, Maroon. You'll come, of course, right? If I'm free. You're being invited by a girl, you know. Just for safety's sake, I want to test up. Let me save a backup. Do a quick test with quick load. Just to be safe, of course. If I'm free, you're probably free anyway. If I'm free, I was being stubborn so as not to give a clear yes or no. Even though I thought it was godsend, I'm too much of a scamp to say so up front. Hey, G-kun, you're not free, perhaps? Perhaps. While Mion and I had a rather sour back and forth, Rena peeked over at me hesitantly. Figuring I'd been a bit too rough on her, I just gave in. Sorry, forgive me, I apologize. I'm free. Great! I see, Maroon. Like I said, it's gonna get dark later on. The trepidation disappeared from Rena's face as it blossomed into a smile. Hey now. Seems like there's quite a difference between how cold you are to me compared to Rena, isn't there? It seems that Mion didn't care for how rude I was to her compared to how quickly I agreed with Rena. But her being annoyed was very interesting. Yeah, I could agree to that. That's what I mean regarding the rest of the cast besides Shion. But still, I don't know. I have this odd liking for her, mainly thanks to her anime voice actor who've done Nagisa Furukawa. So I pushed Rena forward, speeding up our pace to leave Mion behind. Let's go, Rena. Maybe it should be just the two of us tomorrow. Leave old grumpy Mion behind. Huh? Whoa, if Keiichi-kun is okay with that, then... I'm the one who came up with the idea to take him around. Don't ignore me, Keiichi Maebara. I think I'll give a better comparison. Rena is greater than Kurumi Tokisaki. It'd be great if the two of us could go on a picnic together. Should we bring a basket, Rena? If we're bringing a basket, then I'll make all the food, maybe. Maybe! Don't you dare ignore me too, Rena. I'll tell everyone that you two disappeared into a hotel district together. Oh my god! Well then, I'm going home right now to start making it. Tomorrow is going to be so fun. Later, Keiichi-kun, Mi-chan. Bye! Yeah, they are maroon. It was a very rare occurrence for me to have a picnic. Usually it was on the road trips I mentioned during my Diablo 2 streams. Rena bounded off like she was walking on the moon. After the dust settled, all that was left was me standing next to Mion sprawled out on the ground. Yeah, indeed! There was a welt on her face. Are you alright? There was over 2 meters between you guys. Since you came, they become sharper. This old geezer's body can't handle it. It'd be easier if you stopped saying stuff that makes Rena want to hit you. Or else this would end up being Mion's slapstick comedy hour. I see. If that happened, the results might be fatal. Don't feel bad, Mion. You're probably the only one who can dodge her jabs. It felt like it was her knee, though. Could it be that we were hanging around with an unrivaled martial arts master? Maybe someday we'll see her debut in an extreme contact sport. Can't lose to Rena. You need to train up and have a rematch. Hey, Kei-chan, you should. This old geezer will root for you. Mion and I reaffirmed our determination to discover a way to counter Rena's infallible technique. Looks like that concludes a part of the story. You received new tips. We're a mixed grade? We don't have a uniform? Welcome to Hinamizawa. Oh yeah, definitely. I want to see this out of curiosity. So, Rena, we're the same age? Yes, that's right. We're the same zodiac animal, too. Hey now, it would be weird if we were the same age but not the same zodiac animal. That's not true. Are they talking about, like, the Chinese zodiac? Because I know I'm a monkey. 1990. Yeah, aren't 1992 kids like monkeys? That's not true. If your birthday isn't the same, you can have different animals even if you're the same age. Huh? Oh, I see. I see, Maroon. Mion, you're pretty smart. And obviously, regarding like the astronomical zodiac, I'm a Virgo. Just so you guys know. What month were you born, by the way, Keiji-kun? I'm July. I'm an August child, Rena. Rena smirked and puffed up with pride. Hey now, what's the meaning of this? She's not planning to be all high and mighty if her birthday is a wee bit sooner than mine, is she? Don't even. It's impossible to challenge me by my birthday. I wouldn't mind if you bet $1 per month. I see. So you can say I was born at the end of August. So I'm a Virgo and a monkey. Huh? Huh? Why? Why? Rena panicked at being suddenly challenged to a wager. Given how panicked she is, I am certain she doesn't have much allowance left this month. It's just sending her into a panic about something as simple as a birthday is so fun. I can't help myself. So that means you were born in April, Kei-chan? Right on. Too bad, Rena. I'm already far older than Rena. 1992 for me, Maroon. Oh, I see. Then you're the same age as me, Chan. Oh, it's just a few months. That gap will open up soon enough. Mion snickered through her nose. Hey now. Oh god, I'm gonna need more than one cup of water. Hey now, that's not something to be get all high and mighty about. As if I'm the one to talk. Now that you mention it, you're in a higher grade, right, Mio? If you're an underclassman, then I could be an underclassman from now on. Mi-chan, you're not making any sense to me. Just by seeing Rena's blushing face, you could tell how she knew exactly what she meant by it, though. Yeah, definitely, Maroon. And then Satoko and Rika-chan are underclassmen. Their grades are so different that they should be in a different school, shouldn't they? Keiji-kun, your tastes are a bit too young, I think. Ugh, I think. You're not making any sense yourself, Rena. I'll just grab onto her head and scruff it up a bit. Oh, stop it! Oh, my dog's right behind me. I wonder about it before, yeah? I was wondering why this school has different school years all mixed up. There aren't enough classrooms. Can't help it. Building is being rented from the forestry services after all. When she says it like that, it makes sense. I thought our schools was strange for a while now. Schoolyard is a gravel. There are rooms that aren't for classes, and there's some strange sort of construction machinery parked there. Nice photograph of that, though. Why is it being borrowed? What happened to the real school? There was one here forever from before the war. It got dilapidated. Was it like World War II? They closed it down. It was probably a grand old house. Well, because of that, the students would have attended the school in the city. That's pretty far though, you know. Which school would that be? Did you know there's a school if you pass by Okinomiya train station, turn at the hospital, and head towards the pediatrics department? What? This is so far. I couldn't tell where that was by location, but I understood it was pretty far from Rena's reaction. Well, that's why. The guys didn't want to commute to Okinomiya, rented out the building from the forestry services and are attending this pseudo schoolhouse here. About half the children in Hinamizawa go here. There are quite a lot of kids that come here on bike. Well, since they're attending this really messed up school, it might be pretty hard for them to get into higher education. That's not true, Mi-chan. If you study properly, you can go anywhere you want. Yeah, that's right, that's right. I totally agree with Rena on this one. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Let's try our best. All of you try your best. This old man will be rooting for you. Not just us, you two. You should be preparing for exams, shouldn't you? Your future is bleak with grades like this. Fine, just fine. If I get stuck, then I'll mooch off Kei-chan as he works forever. What? What do you mean by work forever? What do you mean? Hey, you're too loud. Be quiet during self-study. The teacher yelled at all three of us. It was completely our fault. Satoko saw and chortled haughtily. I stuck my tongue out at her in response. It was just as Mion said. This school has nothing to do with higher education, but it makes up for that by having lots of valuable things other schools don't. Guess that was a tip. We don't have a uniform. It's only June, but it's already so hot. Let me save right here real quick. Ah, that makes sense. It's only June, but it's already so hot. I could hear the Higurashis outside chirping. Me, me. And at night there are mosquitoes. It might be as well be summer already. It might as well be summer already. My only salvation was that the mornings were still cool. Summer, I do declare. Satoko was flapping her skirt. I can't read that. Languidly? Languidly? That's pretty unladylike there. Even if she was a little brat, she was still a girl. Keiji does seem quite cool with just a single button-up shirt. I'm so jealous. From how I see things, the skirt you're wearing looks like it would be much cooler. Yeah, it's not a pretty sight with mosquitoes. They're so hard to see. A girl like you just wouldn't understand wearing jeans during this season and how steaming the gets. It's steamy how this girl has gone imagining something indecent. Rena's summer clothes have a nice refreshing color. I feel cooler just looking at them. Thank you. They do look pretty cool. I do wish my summer clothes were as breezy as Rena's. But Satoko-chan, your summer clothes are so cute, being one piece and all. I'd like to wear your summer clothes. This is actually quite stuffy, you know. I do believe what you're wearing would feel much cooler. But it would be so much more fun with cute clothes, how... I had a feeling that Rena and Satoko base values were fundamentally different. Speaking of which, our school doesn't have a uniform. Yeah, it doesn't. As long as they're proper, then regular clothes are fine. There are quite a few students in regular clothes. There were a few wearing uniforms, but they were all the same design and rather plain. What's the uniform they're all wearing? They're all the same. That's the city school's uniform. It's not like there's a rule, but they're all wearing them. Speaking of which, everybody in our group is wearing a different uniform, aren't we? Did you go out of your way to get them from somewhere? Why yes, Mion-san supplied them. Mi-chan's relatives run a second-hand clothing store. They can get school clothes from all over the country for cheap, they say. So you ask those relatives to get a bunch of unique school uniforms, then? That Mion, she probably loves using her friends as dress-up dolls. That must be a strange second-hand clothing store. I get that it's a second-hand clothing store, but stocking clothes from schools all over the country? That's pretty strange for a second-hand clothing store. What's the point in stocking up clothes from faraway schools they know nothing about? Yeah, I think so too. They have also used school swimsuits and PE uniforms. I don't like the idea of having used ones. Doesn't sound like that shop makes much money. They probably have Mion pitch in and help so they can make a bit more. But Mion-san says it'll be a big hit and become a great store with such conviction. A second-hand clothing store that sucks school uniforms will be a big hit? I don't get it. Yeah, indeed, Maroon. Okay, save. End of chapter 1. I want to check this out, curiosity. I Alright, let's start with chapter 2. I took it a little too easy on the morning of my day off. I was totally late. Today was the day Rena and Mion were going to show me around Hinamizawa. Nice everyday uniform though. And thanks for the cheers, kitten. I appreciate that. I want to see how it looks with the updated artwork. Don't mind me. Rena and Mion were already waiting at the meeting place. Kei-chan, you're late. Sorry. The show I was watching last night was really interesting. Blame that. Oh, so that's your excuse for being late and keeping two girls waiting. Mi-chan, you just got here yourself. I want to screenshot that. Last night's episode of A Day in the Life of was interesting, wasn't it? I mean, I'm probably gonna read the tips as well for this stream. She was just as guilty as me. Rena was carrying a pretty heavy handbag. What is that? Mion answered my unspoken question with a wink. That's right, Rena really did make a picnic. Kei-chan, after you left, Rena pulled out all the stops. It's not like I forced her to do it. It was nothing, so don't worry about it, okay? Oh, I mean like the standalone chapters, of course. Not like this chapter that was just mentioned. She had been like this since last night, you know. You take the responsibility for this? Really? Alright, I am a man after all. I'll take responsibility. Huh? Responsibility for what? For what? As we both turned around and slowly looked at Rena, our gazes drifted downwards to a massive handbag she was carrying. It didn't seem logically feasible that it would be entirely filled with lunch boxes. Except this was Rena we were talking about here. About 2 kilos, I guess. When Rena was picking it up, I could see she was struggling a bit. I'd say 5. You're exaggerating. Keiji-kun is a boy after all. I thought he could probably eat a lot, so I made a lot, okay? Let's get going. Heave-ho! Just from the way she was lifting up, I couldn't believe the only things that in there were lunch boxes. Correction, I say 5 kilos too. I'll help out, but all of it needs to be eaten. I won't forgive you if you make Rena-chan or Rena sad. Got it? The only thing I could do at that moment was exercise a bit to make myself hungrier. Having finished with the pleasantries, we began our leisurely stroll. A carefree walk, bathed in the gentle morning sunlight. I couldn't have even imagined something so wholesome existed during my time in the city. These were the boonies, after all. Like boondocks? God, I always think of like the Adult Swim show when I think of the Boondocks. No slovenly desk jockeys trudging to work on the weekends out here. It was a really nice place, peaceful and quiet. As sparsely populated as the village was, you could still run into people just by walking around. Ah, good day, good day. Oh, you would be Meibara-kun, I believe. My two companions exchanged greetings with everybody we ran across. All these passerbys even knew my name. When did I become this famous? I gotta get a cup of water real quick. I'll be right back, as always. I think I'll get a few bottles, like Maroon suggested. Yeah, indeed, Maroon. I'm back, by the way. You're probably gonna hear a lot of water pour when I'm getting water. I brought 2 bottles with me. We passed 3 people, and when all 3 of them knew me, I started to feel a bit paranoid. It's a bit sad to say. Everyone knows everyone there. There are so few people in Inamizawa. So that means when an unfamiliar face walks by, they automatically assume, is that my Meibara fella who just moved here? Yeah, that's how it works out. It's a process of elimination you could only pull off in a place like this. It was quite effective. From now on, I better make sure to maintain a good reputation. The way I'm discovered accidentally gawking at the dirty magazine in a bookstore, I can expect all the villagers labeling me as a lech by the next day. Like Rana Maroon? Inamizawa is not to be trifled with. That's not the end of this nightmare. Of course I know them. The first person we met was old man Takizo from the Makino bike shop. His hobbies are bonsai and playing the flute. Next we met the grocer second son, Daisuke-kun. His hobby is sharp shooting, and he hopes to be an ace sniper in the future. Sounds like me when I'm streaming shooters and I pick up a sniper rifle. And the person we just met was Mio-san, the nurse from the clinic. Her hobbies are bird watching and photography. Yeah, it definitely is maroon. You know the names of everyone we pass by? And even their profiles? Seeing my surprise, Mion and Rena exchange looks and burst into laughter. Oh yeah? We're not like the city where people hardly know their neighbors. Now let's try it out. You there, who am I? You're Keiji Maibata. You say some mean things, but you're actually a kind, shy person. It's been 3 weeks since you transferred here. Almost a month, jeez. Your hobby is taking afternoon naps. Lately, you switch over to wearing boxers, didn't you? That's enough, that's enough. Boxers? Enough of that. Apparently, there's absolutely nothing you can keep hidden faces here. Hinamizawa was not a place to be trifled with. You just said that, Keiji. This feels more like you guys are showing me off rather than showing me around. That's right. We're parading around like this after all. Why don't you all think so too? That Kei-chan is fitting right in here in Hinamizawa. The population in Hinamizawa is shrinking, so the villagers welcome anybody who's new here. I thought about brushing it off with something with the effect of, "You're kidding me," but I held back. Had I ever greeted someone who just moved into the city like this before? Thinking about that made me believe what they said wasn't a joke at all. God, reading this just makes me live in the suburbs. Sounds like a pretty peaceful place like Hinamizawa. We passed another person. Of course, we were called out to again the same way. Oh my, good day. It's wonderful seeing you getting along. This lady here is Ujishima-san. Good day. Oh, Maibata-kun. How wonderful for you, having a lovely girl on each arm. How are you? Getting used to life here? Instead of regurgitating a prepared response like I would have in the city, I responded with an emphatic nod. The old woman chuckled, voicing her appreciation of how energetic I was. Good. As I looked back over to Rena and Mion, they gave me a wink. So now then, about time to have lunch, maybe? Maybe? Rena's brilliant smile signaled the approach of an event that both Mion and I were trying to forget. We looked both at each other. I'm a man, I'll do what I can, but it's just too much. It's fine, Kei-chan. Leave it to this old man. Does she keep referring to herself as old man? I just noticed that now. Mion, of course. Mion has never seemed as reliable as she does right now. I'd expect no less from the class representative. Rena, if we're going to eat, we might as well go somewhere with a good view. I see, Maroon. Hoo-ah, yes. Good idea. I agree. Rena nodded her head happily in response to Mion's proposal. Nice shrine, though. Cresting the top of the stone stairway, A shrine drawn straight out of my imagination appeared before us. It had worn down a bit through the years, but the fallen leaves had swept up, giving it a tidy feeling. This is the Furude shrine. It's probably the place with the best view around. This place, be sure to remember it. On our next break, a festival will be held here. Isn't it a bit too early in the season for a festival? The Watanagashi isn't a summer festival. Long ago, it used to be a celebration of the end of winter. I was embarrassed for assuming that festivals had to be held in the summer. Now then, spread out the lunchboxes, and there, various colored lunchboxes placed one after the other on top of the plastic sheet. It sure did smell delicious. It was Rena's home cooking. It went without saying that it would be delicious. But is it even possible to finish all of this? Hey, Mion, it'll take more than just a good view to get all of this down, you know. Nice outfit there, Rika-chan. Or Rika, I should say, before people who don't like weebs go off at me. Good afternoon. It was Rika-chan and Satoko. Why are they all here? Mion grinned over at me. I see. This was their secret plan to power in numbers. Sounds about right. You have my thanks, Mion. Following up when all the pieces are in place is my specialty. You just had to come since there was such a commotion. What's the meaning of all of this? Take a look. It's time for lunch. Buffet style. A handmade gourmet meal made by Rena. I can see that much. Why have it laid out for a tarp on our property? The temple is public ground. It's not yours. Heiji is right. This is everyone's property. Wow, Rika-chan is such a good girl. Have a seat. Eat with us. After opening up a spot for Rika-chan, I promptly turned my back on Satoko. Hold on one second. Where's my spot? No spot for you and nothing for you to eat. Don't worry, there's some for you too. None, I'll eat all of hers. I will not allow that, Rika. Here, chopsticks. Both Satoko and I leapt at the boxes, having it out with each other. Man, really, Kei-chan? You're really good at leading people on. You might have a talent for this. Have a plate. One for Mi-chan and Rika-chan too. Rena whipped out pairs of chopsticks and paper plates. If we don't hurry, he'll be all eaten up. That's right, okay? Shall we commence this battle? Please eat a lot. There's enough for everyone, Rena said as she opened up a thermos. Just then I realized that this lunch was made under the assumption that 5 people would be eating. It didn't change how much there was, but the implication behind it was different. I will not allow you to have this hamburger. Herc! Using your elbow is against the rules, Satoko. Grabbing the back of my collar is also against the rules. I wonder if there's any fans of Satoko, because I know there's usually a fan of the different girls in this series. Because I know I'm like a Rena fan myself, the most. Well, I guess you can say she definitely is tolerable than Evelyn from Mobby. But the difference in our proficiency with chopsticks proved to be fatal and gave me the upper hand. Ah, the last meatball! Well, the only thing I can think of is ravioli. Ravioli, give me the formioli from SpongeBob. Satoko Hojo has been bested. Nom! Satoko and I amiably began choking at the same time, falling backwards and spasming. Rika-chan patted me on the head to clear it. Even then, it was actually stuck in my throat. Yeah, I would love a meatball myself, Maroon. Seeing that made Rena blush and breathe heavily in excitement. And it was almost like flowers were floating all around her. Mion advised Rena to refrain from saying anything that could get her locked up. What, like, omochikari? This is how our meals usually go. I do anything in my power, just so things could stay like this. The intense battle calmed, and finally everyone reached the point where they begin talking. Oh, that music changed though. Receiving tea from the thermos, I let out a small sigh. I do wonder why there's so few words in Japanese to praise how something tastes. Isn't it because the idea of togetherness during a meal didn't begin until the modern era? It seems that long ago people ate in silence. It must have made the people preparing the food a bit sad, don't you think? It's probably because back then the people were busy even while eating and didn't have the time to compliment the flavor. Yeah, indeed, Maroon. That's just you. But you know, just hearing that it's good makes me happy. That my effort was worth it, I mean. She blushed a little as she said that. There's a way to make the text smaller. Yeah, I guess not. It was delicious. With absolutely perfect timing, Rika-chan struck Rena directly with praise. Yeah, I didn't see anything either, Maroon. She looked straight at her with an expression of bewitching innocence. After Rena uttered an unintelligible noise, a ring of smoke from her head with an audible poof. How? Rika-chan, I'm gonna take you home. No, I mean, mochikari? I can't even resist saying that in Japanese. Thank you. It was really delicious. Rena flushed red with excitement, embracing Rika-chan and rubbing her cheeks against her so hard you could almost hear it. She'll reward Rika-chan for her praise. Yeah, I am. Ta-da! These are special. 2 apple rabbits. After sticking 2 picks into them, she thrust them toward Rika-chan. After Rika-chan accepted them, the mood suddenly shifted in a bizarre way. What is it, Satoko? What's with the defiant look? Is everyone prepared Proper praise to receive apples from Renaissance? Don't push yourself. What kind of praise can you think up with your weak vocab? Oh, well then. Allow me to show you. After Satoko's flashed Mio and me a defiant look, she changed the tone of her voice suddenly. Hey. So Rena Oni-chan's lunch. That bounce I just heard though. Satoko thought it was yummy too. Satoko looked up at her poutily while looking cutesy. What? How is that a praise? That's not even persuasion by tears. That's persuasion by cuteness, isn't it? This is a Rena limited special skill. She blushed and her head spun, waving around in circles. Don't fall for it, Rena! Oh, how? Of course, that was asking for the impossible. Rena glommed Satoko and began rubbing her cheek against her. Glomping is cute, though. Exactly. Satoko is so cute. Take you home. How? I didn't even say mochikari once. Oh, wait. Swish, stab, push. Satoko was presented with apple rabbits. After stuffing them into her mouth, she looked over at Mion and Mia with that defiant gaze. It took only 5 minutes to take down Rena. Oh, 5 seconds. Whoops. That's unfair to think she had such a trick. If it upsets you so much, why not reward Rena-san with some praise? Dang it! That was a dirty trick. I wonder if Kitten is thinking of Alice Margatroyd with Satoko's hairdo. First of all, that wasn't even a praise. Satoko, you think you've won with that, don't you? Yeah. Are you getting this Alice Margatroyd vibe with her? How about I show you guys something much better than your superficial gimmicks? That sounds great, Mion. What kind of trick is it? Kei-chan is going to be the one who does it. What? I see. I mean, just the hairdo, I mean. Oh. Why don't I have you show me then? The breathing of an old maid. Oh boy. The plan of attack she suggested was wicked. Wicked sick, if you know what I mean? But it was the only thing that we had to beat Satoko. After sipping my tea, I started talking very naturally and calmly. Perfectly. It really is good, isn't it? This is all freshly made, right? Ah, no. Actually, most of it, almost all of it was frozen stuff. Then which ones did you make fresh? Well, it's embarrassing. Do I really have to say it, must I? The synergy of a boy plus handmade lunchbox, her expression have melted into euphoria. I already know this one, right? Uh-huh. Oh. Rena turned an even deeper shade of red. The words, I can't believe it, practically written on her face. How can you tell? How? That's how I made it. That I made it. Of course, Mion had told me beforehand. It's been perfect so far. After acting like I was shy, I waited a beat. Next would be the finisher. It had your smell. And you just could hear the cicadas crying as well, or the Higurashis, as this translation would say. Silence had enveloped the area. Rena, face still completely red, froze solid. With a small yelp, Satoko also blushed. Of course, I did too. I would like to try one of Rena's handmade apple rabbits or something. Even this was all because I was competing against Satoko. It felt like I crossed the line by a good 9 yards, I think. And at that moment, boosh! It was a Tupperware container filled with rabbits. Please eat some, Keiji-kun. There's plenty for you. Bark! Instantly, dozens of the apples were shoved into my mouth, knocking me over. Okay, say, Keiji-kun. My head was forcibly laid upon her lap, and even more apples were shoved into my mouth. While she was squealing, one apple after another was forced into my mouth. More and more apples. I think I'm just gonna talk and make gibberish noises with that. How about them, Satoko? Looks like we win. Kei-chan, that was a beautiful sacrifice. How's that, Satoko? This is our complete victory, isn't it? I can't believe it. Such trickery. It doesn't bother me at all. Satoko ground her teeth mortified. We did it. I claimed victory as my consciousness drifted slowly away from me. At that time, Rena stopped squealing as she suddenly realized something. Rika-chan, you're not eating it. Did the salt make it too strong, maybe? Maybe? Looking over, Rika-chan had pulled the toothpick out of the apple rabbit, placed it into her cup hands, and seemed to be at a loss what to do. Poor Mr. Rabbit, I feel sorry for him. I want to save him. Whee! That was the sound of blood spurting from Rena's nose. Oh, looks like she's nosebleeding from all this excitement. Tonight I will take you home. She shook sporadically, her head wobbling back and forth. Then coming back to her senses, she took all the apples around me, gathered them up with a flip, and fixed them back up on a plate. I know, right? Even though that's a common thing with anime, that a person would be nosebleeding over, excitement. Oh, they're all just fine, okay? Here, I'll give them to you, Rika-chan, okay? Okay? Rika-chan raised up Satoko's hand like a referee after having that plate of rabbits shoved into her. She whispered, "This is our victory." What? What? A comeback? I just don't care anymore. Thus, my sacrifice ended up being in vain. I guess that's it for this chapter with that indication. It was a fun-filled, crazy day, but as soon as the sun began to set, the end of the day really did come quickly. Later, Rena and Kei-chan. See you tomorrow. Thanks for today, Mion. I had a great time. See you tomorrow. Satoko and Rika-chan went home as well. We parted ways with Mio, and it ended with just Rena and myself enjoying the evening air on our way home. Yeah, definitely Maroon. How many chapters if you're actually looking it up? I mean, like I said, I've actually watched the adaptation, watched and read the adaptation of this arc. Thanks for coming today, Keiji-kun. Was it fun? Yeah. Lots of fun. Almost feels like a waste to go home now. Well, then, well... I mean, like in this chapter, not all the other ones. I already know how this is gonna go down, like I said. Then, would you mind taking a little detour? Maybe? A detour? Is it far? It's a bit of a walk, but it won't take long. Since we had been walking around all day, I must have seemed a bit tired. Not feeling like teasing Rena, I quietly nodded. I know where they're going. Oh my god. Those are pretty, like, photographs with effects. Traversing a small path and up a small hill, the land suddenly stretched out before us. There, what looked like the remains of a dilapidated construction site came into view. Yeah, so they basically went to the dumpster, you guys. A huge heap of garbage spread out off towards the swamp. Probably illegal dumping. I recall it being in the newspaper. It's been quite a while. I wonder what's here. When you say it's been a while, you mean the business here you had here? What's with the garbage pile? It's not garbage. To me, it's a pile of treasure. Rena had already entered that well-known cute mode of hers, so that meant there was something cute here. Whoa, a new pile? I can't wait. She bounded up the unstable slope. I expect no less from a born and bred country girl. Hey, wait, I'm coming. Whoa! My city-raised self was completely pitiful. It's alright, just stay here, Keiji-kun. It won't take long. Rena kindly declined my accompaniment. Don't fall. Watch your step. I'm fine. This is nothing at all. Literally bounding up the heap of trash, Rena disappeared over the side. Hopefully she takes a shower after she comes back home. I didn't like being left behind, but I was still pretty tired from the whole day, so I just ended up waiting. Without the lively Rena around, the surrounding area quickly fell into silence. The cry of the Higurashi gently cooled the air. Fairly exhausted, I began to feel a little sleepy. Just then, the sudden noise of scattering pebbles alerted me to somebody's presence. Startled, I turned around. Standing there was a typical-looking photographer. He spied over at me through his camera. His body was tanned and fit, but something about him seemed unreliable. Again, I want to see what his updated artwork looks like. Huh. I will say, I will admit that looks better than the original one. And he had a bit of an aloof air about him. Well, it didn't seem like he was a bad guy in any case. Whoa! You surprised me. Although startled when I was around, I overplayed his reaction. That was my line. I'm surprised who's here. I'm the one surprised who's here. My bad, my bad. I didn't mean to startle you. Are you from Hinamizawa? I gathered that he wasn't from that question. Unfazed by my suspicious outlook, he introduced himself without my prompting. Oops. I'm Tomitake, freelance photographer. I come to Hinamizawa from time to time. I didn't ask who you were. Quite rude to photograph someone without consent, one would think. My bad, my bad. You mean muscular? He looks kind of chubby in that artwork, I'll be honest. I mainly photograph wild birds. They can't refuse, you see. So, you're saying I'm the same as the birds? Oh, well, you see, that image of a young man in the twilight was just picturesque. I apologize for trying to take your picture without asking. Adults are pretty slick. All that annoyance I felt for being startled just flew away as he buttered me up. Sorry, that was my dog. Neptune. Shh. Except it didn't seem like Rena would be back soon. Oh, I had no intention of hanging around with this guy trying to get cozy with me. Yeah, I know. Except it didn't seem like Rena would be back soon. But this older guy, Tomitake-san, he didn't mind my cautious responses and continued rambling on by himself. Keiji-kun, sorry to keep you waiting. I'm finished now. Rena popped her head out from one of the lower piles of garbage and waved her hand. You have someone with you? What would she be doing over here? That's what I wanted to know. Don't know. Maybe she's checking on that dismembered corpse that was out here long ago. Tomitake-san looked shaken up by that for a moment. Uh-oh, I responded I would if I were talking with Rena and others. It was quite a disturbing incident. They still haven't found one of the arms. Uh-oh. Keiji-kun, sorry to keep you. You were waiting a while, I guess. I'd be best to leave you lovebirds alone. Again, my apologies for starting you, Keiji-kun. KGX Rena is a perfect pairing, though. Tomitake-san chortled suggestively, then disappeared into the twilight. Missing my chance to retort put me off a bit. Keiji-kun, are you angry? Why, I wonder. It wasn't Rena's fault, so I decided to brush it off for now. So the question is, when is Umineko gonna be on Steam as well? How was it? Because I know that's another series made by 7 Expansion. Found the treasure trove? Oh yes, so listen. You see, there was a Colonel Sanders doll. A Colonel Sanders doll? Oh, that thing. Those statues are always out there in the front of that fried chicken place. That life-size dummy? You mean like Kentucky Fried Chicken? Yes, Colonel Sanders. Oh, cute. I want to take it home. Mochikari. I couldn't tell how she decides what's cute or not. But, well, she seems to want it. It's garbage, right? Yeah, that's what I just mentioned, Maroon. No one would care if you just take it home, right? It's become the base of another pile. I can't dig it out easily. There's no lamppost over there, so it'll get pretty dark soon. Rena seems quite down about finding treasure, not being able to bring it back. Oh, thank God for that! That's pretty convenient. It'll help you out to repay you for that delicious picnic you prepared today. Oh, thank you. Birds heading home to roost proclaim that nightfall would soon be upon us. Keiji-kun is going to help. I can take Colonel Sanders home. How? Rena staggered along as if intoxicated in her dreamy state of mind. I tried asking her in a way that wouldn't take her out of her cheery state. Hey, Rena? Long ago, did something happen here? Seems like they were building a dam here. I know the details though. How? Just wonder if you knew about, an accident or something. I don't know. Her tone was disturbingly frank. That's a bit unsettling. It sounded more like a denial than an answer. I must have appeared rather dumbstruck. Rena quickly lightened her expression. Actually, I didn't live here until a year ago. Huh? You transferred here too? I was sure that... You see, I don't really know much from before that. Sorry. Don't really know. Don't want to talk about it. That was the kind of feeling she gave me. Thinking about it, of course, it would be like that. This wasn't the type of thing girls would enjoy talking about. It was quite a disturbing incident. It seems they haven't been able to find one of the arms. If it's just like Tomitake-san said, then I have had a feeling that only the Higurashis would know. You received new tips. The Maibara Mansion. Right, let's save and load. End of chapter 2. So, Kei-chan, you're not stinking rich? So what is this all of a sudden? Did I come to school in a limo before? Oh my god, I envisioned the mask scene with the limo. Franklin, Grant, and Jackson. How much do you get for a monthly allowance? About 10? My, that's rather a plebeian amount. His lunch is made up of normal stuff. He isn't rich. I keep thinking that my dad would always say as well, in reference to Caesar, as he thinks, plebs are needed, plebs are needed. What are they talking about? To be asked out of nowhere how much I get and then told that that's a plebeian's amount. Sorry. Rena seemed to pick up on my dubious expression and started giggling. Kei-chan, your house, it's pretty big, yeah? So the architecture has people all around Hinamizawa calling it the Maibara Manor, and it sort of stands out. Maibara Manor? Since the house is so big, everybody is gossiping, wondering what exactly how rich you are. I see. Now I get it. Oh, the frame of it is huge. I could see how it could cause some misunderstandings. From my deduction, I wager that they spent too much on money on building the house, and that's why they are now broke. Being broke, how very, very unfortunate. Rika-chan took pity on me as she patted my head. I go from being treated like a millionaire to a beggar. Yeah, sorry for ruining your imagination, but we aren't millionaires or poor. We're the image of a normal, average household. You can't call it normal with that huge house. The entranceway is all grand and the gate is large enough for a large truck to get through. That's not normal at all. They do say the bigger your house, the more prosperous you are. The reason the house is so big because Dad's studio is in it. There's a bunch of different workshops. Lots of his works are hung up in different places. All of them are huge too. For those reasons, the family actually uses a third of a house for day-to-day living. He planned it out so people in cars could come in to see the gallery he opens up in the house someday. By the way, the entranceway Mion is talking about is the one for the studio, which is normally sealed off. The entranceway the Maebara family actually uses is very plain and simple one. The interior is much different from how it looks on the outside. I'd really like a chance to explore Kei-chan's house. Pay me not to be rich, but having a home like that could be hidden there. What could be hidden there? Maybe something cute hidden. How? They probably had no money to purchase furniture, so it's filled with Spartan rooms. Wow, the only thing I thought of that reading that is, this is Sparta! If there are carpeted rooms, I would love to try rolling around the floor. Wow, that'd be great. So great. I want to roll around too. Seems like their imagination were just piling on. Well, sometime in the near future, it would be too bad to invite them all to my house. And Dad is a sucker for the ladies, so he might even let them look around his studio. Jeez. The cry of the Higurashi crescendoed as the sky towered over everything. It was hot, but the air was clear. It smelled like the beginning of summer. Alright. What's the song gonna be is my question. From the June XF's 1979 edition. The Shishibone City Okinomiya Police Station, June XF, late at night. Suspect Suspect unknown were arrested on suspicion of murder and improper disposal of a corpse. The main offender, unknown, has been added to wanted lists nationwide. According to our sources, the 6 suspects were at Hinamizawa Dam construction site workroom at unknown at 9 p.m. where they are suspected to have assaulted and murdered the site overseer unknown as a group, dismembering the body and hiding it. On unknown if at 8 o'clock in the morning, a report was filed by the Shishibone City Hospital in which a male suspect alluded to having murdered Mr. Unknown. When questioned at the police station, yeah, definitely Maroon. The individual confessed to the crime since a portion of the body was recovered at the location he gave. He was arrested that afternoon on suspicion of murder and mutilation of a corpse. The rest of the suspects were arrested the same day, but the main culprit is still at large. Police are currently on his trail. The motive is purported to be a drunken verbal dispute during which he killed the victim in a fit of anger. However, as there were multiple inconsistencies with their testimonies, the investigation is still ongoing. That was pretty an unsettling song. Alright, let me save here. And continue. Chapter 3. A Colonel Sanders? Ah, of course, that's right up her alley. I understand her wanting to take home Satoko Rika-chan. But I can't understand the Colonel Sanders. What's so good about that four-eyed geezer? Probably better to hear it from Rena, don't you think? She'll probably just say because it's just so cute, though. Does Rena often go to construction site to hunt for treasure? Every now and then, she says she's going to have to look. Well, a girl her age rummaging around the garbage is, well... If Rena enjoys it, then I think it's fine. What if they were doing if... What were they doing over there? Dam construction? It's been bugging me since yesterday like an itch I couldn't scratch. It was canceled a long time ago. Everyone gathered together and fought against it. Hearing an anonymous word like fought come from Rika-chan's mouth startled me. That's right, it was unbelievable. They said Hinamizawa was sunk into the reservoir, and we had no say in the matter. So I'm only able to be here because the protest succeeded. I'm sorry. I didn't keep you. Did I? My deepest apology, Keiji-san. It took me a while to powder my nose. Satoko? Wait to use the can until you really have to go. It's a lot easier since it shoots right out. Eek! Eek! How dare you speak that way to a maiden of unparalleled beauty such as myself? Who is she calling a maiden? If Satoko really was a maiden, she wouldn't have reacted like that. The usual hijinks ensued. Now then, gentlemen, in accordance with the rules of society, I bring a point of discussion. Keiji Mebata-kun wishes to be included as a member of our activities. What says you? Oh, this is gonna be fun. Hi Chase, how are you doing tonight? Rena has no objections. Oh, I wonder if the likes of this peasant is up to the task. Me and Satoko both approve. Three that Mion had hurried voiced their approval. A unanimous decision. Congratulations, Keiji Mebata-kun. Meep. I present you the honor of being allowed to take the entrance exam for our club. Start from the beginning. I didn't say I would join. What club is this? What our club does, you see, in order to cope with our complicated society, We perform various activities under different set of rules. Sometimes they are in your favor, and sometimes they work against you. I'm pretty weak, so I prefer if you didn't single me out. Let's try to get along. You're so naive, Rena. The law of the jungle is survival of the fittest. Isn't that what evolution basically is? This was starting to sound a bit sketchy. But what kind of club was it? Sum it up, it's a club where we play games together. Sounds like my kind of club. Oh, you know, like one of the few positive in my college life was a club like that. Just hanging out on a Friday night, playing with guys with different games like Team Fortress 2, for example, and like passing the controller around playing Oblivion on the Xbox. Yeah, I do. It's a better club than trying to stress yourself out more with a game dev club on a Friday night. I mean, come on, I would rather relax and have a good Friday night than stress myself out more. Rika-chan was the only one to answer my question with a pertinent response. So basically, this club puts Mion's hobby of collecting games to use by playing various games that Mion had hoarded every day. It seems that depending on the day, there were prizes for the winner or a penalty for the person who finished in last place. To make this clear right now, we aren't playing house here. You should treat each win or loss as if your life depends on it, alright? What's wrong with it just having fun? Don't make it sound so crazy. The first rule of our society, aim only for first place. Going at it lazily just because it's a game is not allowed. Rule number 2 is of our society. For that reason, you are obligated to make all possible efforts. The way Satoko said it sounded like she was saying to use any means necessary. Of course, I will do my best too. I'm pretty weak, but I'm trying my best. I knew that what they were trying to say. In a game where everybody's aiming for the top, it's rather unsportsmanlike playing just for fun. Alright then. I too will go all out. With that, I was finally ready for the rite of initiation, my baptism into the club. A word of warning, Kei-chan. Rena can get pretty nasty. This initiation looks like it's going to be rough. I think we even played like a demo version, like just play a bunch of, just a demo version of Marvel vs. Capcom 2 in the club I was in. Even playing League of Legends for a good bit with a upperclassman or the president, of course, and like enjoying it, having a good time as well. Mion began fishing around in the student's locker in the back of the room. They have the games here at the school? Well, it's club equipment, so I guess that's fine. Complicated games will put Kei-chan at a disadvantage. Today we'll play a game you should be familiar with. How about a standard card game? Oh my god, what was that? Like old Bachelor. Alright, let's do this. Can't really get into it unless there's a penalty. This time the loser will be sentenced to having their face drawn on. What do you think? Whoa, whoa! It won't be oil-based paint, right? Right? Oil-based face painting with oil-based paint? That is perfect. Satoko cheered the idea on. She didn't even flinch at the thought of such a severe penalty. It seemed like she was raring to go. If only it was going to be like this, then I can't lose either. Then I'll just cut the deck and start dealing. Old Bachelor is pretty much the same as Old Maid. There's only one difference, there's no Joker. In its place, one card is pulled at the start, meaning there will be one card without a match left over at the end. You don't know which card will end up being the Joker. It's a pretty thrilling game. I'll take out the card now. Rena took one card out and left it face down on the table. Everybody stared at the card intently. Well, it'll be pretty obvious in the end game. Yeah. Sorry about that. Well, it'll be pretty obvious in the end game. No way to tell at the start. And I should mention, I actually post pictures of my dog regularly. Oh! Sorry, someone just came home. And we're back. Well, the rest of them were very serious. They didn't seem as relaxed as I was. They compared their cards to one face down, while gauging each other's reaction. Or gouging. It was as if they could see what the face-down card was. No, it couldn't be. This deck is pretty worn out. No way can everyone tell by the scratches what the card on the table is. Remember the second rule of our society? Keiji-san must try his hardest to win as well. A number of cards are quite unique, Keiji-kun. Should be able to remember them quickly. She said that so matter-of-factly. Suits me fine. Don't think a little thing like that can be your crutch. I lashed out angrily, but it was rather obvious it was at a disadvantage. After all, they gone as far to memorize the wear and tear for each individual card. This wasn't a simple game of Old Bachelor. If this was a test, and they were playing with the answer sheet in front of them. Bring it! I'll take advantage of your carelessness and beat you at your own game. That baseless confidence would be crushed. Kiki. How about I tell you your hands starting from the right? 3, 4, 9, Jack, Queen. Rah! By the way, the Bachelor is the Jack of Diamonds. Wow, I really gonna help us think of Jack of Blades from Fable. I can tell what they're even if you switch them around. I am out. Urgh! Oh, I was prepared before it to be this brutal, just overwhelming. Demons, you're all demons. Rena isn't a demon, are you? Sorry, Keiji-kun. This is the 3 of Hearts. I'm out. Not even a hint of mercy. Rena, even Rika-chan. These club's activities weren't to be trifled with. An alumnus of this club would definitely survive in the cruelest of situations. If our entire class had self-detonating collars strapped to their necks and were dropped into a death match on a deserted island, these guys would probably take it like fish to water. I can already picture their joy as they hunt down each of their classmates. It's the lowest point system. The order itself dictates the points. Whoever has the lowest point totals wins. Since Keiji finished last, he has 5 points. There's already a 5 marked down on my scoreboard. It's unfair to Keiji-kun if we don't use the new deck. It's fine, it's fine. Keiji is the man after all. He can turn the tables even if the odds are stacked against him, right? It's fitting for a lowly peasant to scamper home and soak their pillows in tears, don't you think? A petite hand laid itself on top of my head, which was trembling from an uncontainable frustration. It was Rika-chan's. Keep on fighting, yeah! Thanks to Rika-chan's word of encouragement, I was able to calm down. You need to be calm, especially when you're cornered. That's the power I must muster during this crisis. Think clearly, Keiji Mibara. Take your time and look at the cards carefully. It's just as Rena said, each card has its own distinct markings that made them stand out. Memorizing them should be pretty simple. Think about what you can do in this situation. Try everything in your power to improve your chances of victory. Wow. Oops. Wow, great Keiji. Whoa, great Keiji-kun. Just like that, I cornered the uniquely marked cards of my hands, or are the other cards, arranging them in such a way that they couldn't be seen. One ripped with the corner should be 5, and I'm out. I couldn't let any of those precious things slip by me. All information is a weapon. Yeah, I know. Then it was my turn. Satoko fanned out her cards for me. You see, I won 7. Is this one? I wonder about that. You don't know unless you take it. This was a bit of dismay in her expression. Like it doesn't want it taken, that kind of expression. I won't let that momentary laughs slip by me. I know! It's this one! Got it. 7 of spades. Cheer up. Ooh! Ranged out. What is this? 7 should be the hardest one of all to tell apart. It wasn't from memorizing the markings. No slight changes in the expression as I was selecting a card word though. Can't hide it from me, Kei-chan. This mark means it's 2 of diamonds. What? She was startled by her own misread. Of course, everyone else was too. Whoa! It's rare that Mi-chan gets a card wrong. No, Kei-chan, could it be you? They told him apart by different marks. And now he's just laying behind me. My dog, of course. That mark was a nail scratch. So I put a new one on it. Are you saying he disguised it as 2 of diamonds? What an impressive show of wit. Keiji landed a clean hit. There we go. That's great, Keiji-kun. That was an incredible match, you know? Having defeated the Forerunner, Mion, in my brilliant battle left me ecstatic. But by total points, it was already set in stone that Mion and I would finish last. Mion would win, and I would finish last. I laughed haughtily, selecting the tone of my voice carefully to get on Mion's nerve. Well, I'm going to end up the loser, but I'm satisfied with one-upping Mion at the end. That should be the proverbial slap in the face to Mion, who was at the top already and ensured victory. If K-John gets first place this round, he'll still end up last place overall. Don't you hate that? Of course I do. Let's have a duel. One chance. If you win, then we'll swap first and last place. How about it? You up for it? She fell for it. A chance for an upset that wouldn't be possible while goading her into it. One chance, you say? Let me hear the rules. Mion discarded 2 cards from her hand and replaced one with the Joker card that was on the table, then shuffled the resulting hand behind your back. Card in my right or card in my left. K-Chan can guess which hand the Joker's in, then he wins. When you turn around just now, you didn't pull out the Joker, did you? If you lose, I'll show you the card on the other hand. Is that okay? The other 3 gulped nervously at the unexpected turn of events. Alright, you got it. Mion grasped 1 card in each hand and thrust them out at me. First I needed to inspect them closely. The card on the right hand has no distinguishing mark. I couldn't tell which one it was. Which one, I wondered, KG-kun? Be careful. Yeah, of course, this is my chance for a big comeback. Yeah, I know, Maroon. Looking closely at the card on the left, I saw a little wear. It wasn't one I hadn't seen before. That card is... I didn't let that bit from Satoko slip by me. Mion clucked her tongue. I didn't recognize the mark left on the left card from the small number I had memorized. I didn't know what the left card was, but I could tell from Satoko that reaction that the card had already appeared during the game. Since it already before, man, it definitely wasn't a Joker. Oh, K-Chan thinks the one on the right? You choose that one then? Hang on. Back again. Will you? The left card definitely wasn't a Joker. If I could trust that theory, then I should have been able to declare that card to the right was the Joker. Even with Mion's taunting, the one on the right was the most suspicious. It wasn't a bit too rash to decide based on solely on Satoko's reaction. More carefully. Ah. I remember now. That mark on the left card, no doubt about it. The 7 of clubs. It's the 7 of clubs, I see. I've won! The card on the left was the 7 of clubs. That meant the card on the right was the Joker. And then just before my hand touched the right card, I froze. I would expect no less from you. There was a wave of murmurs amongst the onlookers at my sudden halt. Right before I confirmed the right card was the Joker. Huh? What could Keiji-san possibly be saying? I mean, the left one is... Shh. Oh, what makes you certain about the right one isn't the Joker? Kei-chan. Mion lets loose on an unexpected question. Everyone seems baffled. I don't know what the card on the right could be. But I know that the one on the left is the 7 of clubs. Then... doesn't that leave the right one as a Joker? One of them has to be the Joker, right? Yeah, one of those have to be the Joker, right? Keiji has good intuition. Huh? Rika-chan, what do you mean by... So basically, the 7 of clubs, I discarded that by matching it with Satoko's 7 of spade earlier. Everyone's attention snapped to the discard pile at the same time. The truth of the matter couldn't be discerned by that sloppy pile. That means Mion pocketed one of the discarded cards, then aligned it over the left card. That means... I see, I get it. The left card is being disguised as the 7 of clubs, right? It was the first time since the start of the match that the shadow ran across Mion's expression, and I didn't let that slip by. Then with a grand flourish, I declared it loudly. The Joker is the left one! It was an intense moment. That 1 second felt like an eternity for everyone there. Breaking that silence, the first one to speak was Mion. Being the first president of this club, I've been able to witness a variety of performances. Kei-chan, yours is the best. The best of the best. The best of the best of the best. That was probably the greatest compliment Mion could give. Mion accepted her defeat, dropping the cards from both hands. My comeback victory. Rika-chan placed my hand on their head, began petting it, congratulating me on my victory. Huh? Rika-chan is... Rena and Satoko gape at us, as if they had seen a ghost. What is it, Rena? It's not as if I cheated or anything, right? This was fair and square. Rika only pet someone said to console them. Huh? What's the meaning of... At that moment, Rena lets out a small shriek. Keiji-kun, this is how it was? You know, Kei-chan, I thought you read into it that far. Everyone froze. No, it was just me. It was a gamble. You had just jumped to conclusion like a little brat, then I would have lost. It was the answer everyone was certain about. Mion picked up the card from the losing hand. Kei-chan, you know, you should take pride in this loss. He turned it around. That card... That was the card that proclaimed the victor of this duel. The card was under 7 of clubs. Unbelievable. It was 2 of diamonds. It was a setup behind the setup. If I just picked the right one without reading it so deeply into it. I, Mion Sonosaki, as the club president, do accept Keiji Mabara's membership into our club. As I slumped to my knees, dazed, everyone let out a round of applause for the excellent effort I gave despite my defeat. There. The match is now over. Today, the victor is me, Mion Sonasaki, and the exalted loser is Keiji Mibara. Everyone made a commotion, applauding cheerfully. I felt I was bested, but I was so soundly beaten that it was unexpectedly rather refreshing. When Michan pulled out that little trick behind her back, I got excited, thinking he was going to do it again. When Keiji-san stopped the moment before touching the correct card, I thought he fell for it. He fell for it quite handily. Huh? Hey, what? All of them knew from the start and so got so excited earnestly. Everyone got excited to make it more fun. You're all demons, you monsters! Now then, Kei-chan, it's time for your penalty. Since it's your first day participating, I'll go easy, okay? It will be a problem if you refuse to come to our school. The other 3 members held down my arms and shoulders firmly. Mion approached, licking her lips. Her right hand went to pull something out of fear of her pocket. That's a felt-tip marker, and it's large and oil-based. Okay, here we go. He took the cap off the marker and brought it fully up to my face when I was immobilized. No! I let out death throes. I left out my death throes. Because that's the end of that part of it, of the school. This chapter, for the school. Yeah, exactly, Maroon. Jigglypuff. When everyone falls asleep. I remember that. That Jigglypuff, of course. As soon as club activities were finished, Rena flew off. Probably so she could dig out that cute Colonel Sanders that she wasn't able to take home yesterday. So today it was just Mion and me walking home together. A rather rare occurrence. A mountain of treasure, huh? The guys throwing it away probably never thought in their wildest dreams that Rena would be grateful to them. Mountain of treasure, meaning that damn construction site from before? Alright, Mion would probably tell me. That murder by dismemberment that seemed to happen there. Over there, you know, at that damn construction site? Did something happen there? Long ago? Something sure did, a grand battle. There were sit-ins and demonstrations. It was a bit different from what I wanted to hear, but I decided to just listen the same. Hang on. It was our land that was going to be sunk into the dam reservoir. I would have thought as well, probably. The government guys were really adamant about it, acting all big and full of themselves. Since they figured out that they couldn't settle it with money, they did a bunch of nasty stuff. They were nasty guys. Mion spoke excitedly, as if the whole thing was happening right in front of her. I'm amazed you guys won. You were facing the federal government, right? The mayor and prominent figures in the village all signed petitions. They went to Tokyo and struck deals with legislators, and as a result, the development plan was retracted. It was our complete victory. There wasn't any violence, was there? Like assaults or murders? None. She promptly cut me off. Same as Rena had. Her word signaled the end of the discussion. Tomitake-san said one arm wasn't found in the incident. I thought, thanks for the cheers again, Hoaxon. I really appreciate that. I thought that a murder by dismemberment had occurred. I guess I was wrong. My curiosity unsated, I sighed dejectedly inside. Later, see you tomorrow, Kei-chan. You can't wash that off until you get home, got it? I got it, I won't. Mion held back her laughter while stealing glances from my face. I wonder what kind of nasty doodles he drew. Mion, you shall rule the day. If our roles are ever reversed, I'm going to slop it on. Yeah, thanks for all the cheers now, you too, folks, and I really do appreciate that. Just for cheering me on. All over your face, so you won't be able to take it off, even with a scoring pad. Upon arriving home, I ran straight into my mom, embarrassing myself yet again. The mood I come home was already on edge. It's not an uncommon thing in our family. But whenever Dad can't come up with a good idea, it always ends up like this. He stomps around the house with his arms crossed. Mom whispered into my ear, "Welcome home, KG. Dad, he's in a bit of a rut right now, so don't bother him, okay? He can't come up with new ideas." Oh my god. It's because the deadlines are so close together this time. Your dad needs time to recharge or he doesn't work as well. Dad's painting feeds our entire family. If he runs out of ideas, then it's the end of the Mebaras. We've never gone hungry before. Could it be that my dad is a master painter? Wouldn't it be easier to get an idea taking a walk outside rather than wandering around the house? Oh my god, my dog is right next to me. The theme of this piece this time is in the household. So it seems your dad wants to use this house as a motif. That's quite a bothersome motif. KG, pick up your room. It looks terrible. Sorry, I'll clean it up later. Ah, come on, please don't use my room as a motif. KG, there's still some time before dinner. Please go take a walk out back or something. His bad mood is only temporary. As soon as he gets an idea, his mood improves and he starts humming. Yeah. Until then, it won't be a bad idea just to go take a walk so I don't aggravate him further. Well, I guess I will then. Yeah, I know, Maroon. Ah, yeah, I think I'm gonna go back to the dumpster. I said that I was going to take a walk, but I didn't have any particular destination in mind. I just needed to kill some time. Let me quick save. Let's see. Oh, okay. I got on my bike, pondered where to go. So I could just go read at the bookstore. I wouldn't take an hour by bike to get to town. It would be dark by the time I got back, and so I wouldn't go unless I had to. The roads at night here in Hinamizawa creep me out. If Mion or Satoko ever found out about that. I smiled wearily. Oh yeah, Rena was probably still at the Mountain of Treasure, the damn construction site. The excavation of Colonel Sanders was probably taking her a while. It wouldn't be so bad to have her owe me one. She might return the favor Next time we have club activities. A little bit of self-interest in mind, I set off towards the damn construction site. Tomitake-san might be there as well. The only person with information about the incident that both Rena and Mion denied knowing anything about. If I met him again, I'd like to ask for more details. To ask, was there really a dismemberment there here in Hinamizawa? That was my real intention. God, I feel like I'm playing Myst right now with that scene transition. I remember seeing like clips. I remember watching my sister or dad playing like Riven, like the Myst series, mainly Riven. I spotted Rena struggling. Yeah, indeed. I spotted Rena struggling up on the slope of the garbage pile. It looked like Colonel Sanders was lodged in there pretty firmly. Didn't look like Rena would be able to excavate him by himself. Realizing that Tomitake-san wasn't around, I began climbing up the slope unsteadily. Hey Rena, looks like you're working up a sweat. Oh, this is I do like lunchtime song so far in this chapter's soundtrack. Whoa, Keiji-kun! What brings you to a place like this? Place like this, huh? I see, she was aware of it at least. I received a signal for emergency assistant at the accident site. Where's the injured party? Huh? Accident, huh? Hang on. People are coming in, it looks like. But there was a report Colonel Sanders was buried alive in the trash pile. Huh? Oh, that. You scared me. Don't frighten me like that, Keiji-kun. I was just kidding. I thought you might be struggling by yourself, so I came to help out. Hey, you came for me? How? Well, I filled my quota for today. I don't see Rena blush at least once a day. Then I'm not getting my daily required nutritional intake. Just kidding, you're embarrassing me right now. So, huh? What part was the joke? What part was it? I just ignored her bewilderment. Okay, now move out of the way. So where's the Colonel Sanders? Sorry. Can't you see him in that gap? He's really buried in there. Colonel Sanders was sideways, surrounded by boards and construction materials, like they were caging him inside. According to Rena, it wasn't like this yesterday. It seems as though another illegal dumper came yesterday, dumped again, and now he's buried like this. You're trying to move this pile out all by yourself? With those scrawny arms? There's no way she would be able to do that with her slender arms. But Colonel Sanders, so cute! There's a chain on the Colonel Sanders at the store. This one, though, I should be able to take this one home. How? If Rena gave up on this Colonel Sanders, she'll probably start devising a plan to steal the one in front of the store. As Rena's guardian, I wouldn't allow her to sully her hands with crime. Out of the way, I'll do it. Rena blushed again. This time I left it alone. pile was enormous. Also, the more days we wasted, the more likely another illegal dumping would occur. If it got buried any deeper, there would be nothing that could be done. Keiji-kun, I'll help too. Let me help. You just get in the way, so stay back. Pulling out scraps, bending them, tossing them aside, I quickly became covered in sweat and dust. Exactly, Neptunia. Rena is the best girl in Higurashi. Flying objects drew beautiful arcs across the twilight sky, one after another. Lumber, timber, plywood. Dang it! No matter how much I threw it out there, there was still more. Even though I could see Colonel Sanders right there, after grandstanding like that in front of Rena, I felt frantic because of how little I had progressed. I was going to do this seriously. I need an axe or saw or something. That's enough, Keiji-kun. You're so sweaty. You don't have to try so hard. I'm just going to do it for you. Rena, don't worry about it. Rena began sputtering and turned beet red. Ah, whoops. I meant to say I was trying my best so as to keep her from becoming a criminal. Oh well. I guess I just need a break. This is pretty tough. I sprawled on my back over the grassy slope. I'm so sorry. You're covered in sweat. Rena patted her handkerchief against my forehead. It felt pretty nice. Well, wait here 1 minute, okay? My house is pretty close. I'll bring you some barley tea, okay? Leaving behind the handkerchief on my forehead, Rena took off running. The cries of the Higurashi gently cooled the air. After I was certain Rena was gone, I picked myself up and head towards what I discovered earlier. There was a garbage pile, magazine, and newspaper bound up in twine. Unless I'm mistaken, I believe it was around here. There were bounds of stacks of not so reputable tabloids. They were stacked chronologically, going back quite a few years. It was a disturbing incident. It seems they haven't been able to find one of the arms you see. It was just as Tomitake-san said, and undoubtedly there would be mention of the murder. There are troubled times. There's no end to these sickening incidents. There's a large part of society drawn in by these incidents as well. So it had to be recorded somewhere. I unfastened the packages and opened the rain-soaked packages carefully, looking over the table of contents. Not here. Next one. Not here. Next one. It was hard to search since I didn't know when it happened. I didn't know who the perpetrator or the victim was, either. I only knew it happened here. I looked up every so often, checking to see if Rena had come back or not. I wouldn't wonder to see me gawking at a dirty magazine, but it wasn't just that. Both Rena and Mion said they didn't know, but it had happened without a doubt. As long as Tomitake-san was in line, then if both Rena and Mion, yeah, there was, they just said that, then I wouldn't have gotten so hung up on it. An incident that neither Rena nor Mion wished to talk about. Trying to uncover it after they try to conceal it out of good intentions. That made me feel like I was acting against my friends. Oh my. Yeah, well, yeah, Maroon. That unsettling music. Hinamizawa dam worker lynching, murder by dismemberment. Here it is. The feature article was in the back. It seemed like there was a photograph in the color pages at the front. The pages of these article featured were struck together and weren't easy to open. Rena could return at any moment. Feeling rushed, I gave up and opened the photograph page. The police investigators were carrying a body bag, and newspaper reporters were all bathing it in camera flashes. The images were blurry and hard to understand, but I could definitely make it out the headlines. A tragic nightmare at the Hinamizawa construction site. Lynching and murder and dismemberment. The victim was a site foreman. He had assaulted his assailants daily with explosive backlash from his daily actions. It's a horrible image to see the site foreman as it happened. It really did happen. It seemed the details were on the next page. I turned the page without pausing. On it was... Oh my... The assailants butchered the victim's body with hatchets and pickaxes. Then used an axe to split the cadaver into 6 pieces, the arms, legs, and torso. I could understand just from the headline that it was just too terrible an incident. Normally a lynching is just assault and murder, right? Dismemberment with hatchets and pickaxes wasn't a lynching. It was merciless killing to the letter, a brutal murder. Done by a group of people with hatchets, with pickaxes, with an axe. Ah! Eek! So sorry. Did I startle you? Did I startle you? See ya, Vaultec. Can't appreciate the classics, you know. Rena dropped the axe she was holding onto the grass after being startled by my voice. Keiji-kun, you see, earlier, yeah, you said it would help you if you had an axe, didn't you? So then I brought an axe for you from the shed. Rena flooded her arms in a panic, continuing to explain and apologize. It seemed I'd been glaring at her intensely. Well, yeah, Maroon, exactly. I'm sorry, I guess my reaction was a bit overboard. No, I'm sorry as well. I'm sorry. It was drawing close. I was pretty worn out and wanted her to do the rest tomorrow. Doesn't look like we can break the last beam without an axe. You brought it after all. I'll have to borrow it tomorrow, alright? Okay. Why do you look so glum? Tomorrow we'll be digging out Colonel Sanders, right? You're right. I really want to take Colonel Sanders home soon. We both knew it was useless to apologize any more than that. I quenched my thirst with the barley tea Rena brought and wiped off the sweat that had now gone cold. We took the path to head home. I felt quite guilty about the tabloid wrapped up in my jacket. You received new tips. One man's trash. Achievement unlocked. October 1975. In accordance with the Prime Minister Bulletin's number unknown, Hinamizawa Electrical Development Master Plan was announced. The vast scope of the projected Hinamizawa Dam would have an incredibly heavy impact on the village of Hinamizawa. Yeah, I did get another achievement, Maroon. Hopefully I could aim for a perfect game on Steam. The flooded area caused by the Hinamizawa Dam would include the 5 areas of Hinamizawa: Takasudo, Hiyosu, Matsumoto, and Yagochi. Submerged area included 291 houses. Yeah, indeed. The submerged area population 1,251. One elementary school, one middle school, one post office, one agricultural cooperative, one forestry department lumberyard, 5 shrines, 2 temples, and 1 fishery. All these communal, cultural, agricultural areas and places of worship will be indefinitely submerged at the bottom of the artificial lake basin. Forsaking the hundreds of years, our ancestors poured their blood and sweat to this fertile and resource-rich land. It's just too painful to bear. All the residents having homes that were to be submerged banded together and created the Onikakushi Defense Alliance. The dam project was halted and petitions to alter the plan were circulated. The citizens sought peaceful negotiations, but the government and its puppet company, Unknown, openly refused. Performing unspeakable heinous acts, they quashed the democratic actions of the villagers. But the villagers did not falter. Instead, they banded together even more and steeled their resolve to protect their homes to the death. The continuation of that frightening Hinamizawa dam construction project is still stalled as of today. The villagers understand that the stalling was caused by a sublime power through unity, and they understand that this fearsome plan has not yet been fully withdrawn. The Onikakushi Defense Alliance, and congrats on leveling up Vaultec if he's actually still around, alliance had been dissolved after it did its part, but the feeling of unity it garnered had not been extinguished. As long as that passion resides in the hearts of residents, they'll be able to confront whomever next decides to sink their homes into a lake basin. Onikakushi Defense Alliance Committee Chairman Kichiro Himiyoshi. Nightmare befalls the Hinamizawa Dam. Lynching and murder dismemberment. An unknown month of unknown day in unknown prefecture at the Hinamizawa Dam construction site in Shishibone City, a bone-chillingly gruesome murder dismemberment. Even though this case has shocked the archipelago, the police will give no details on the case. Exactly what happened at the Hinamizawa Dam. They probably didn't mean to kill him at first, but as the victim resisted by swinging around a shovel, the rest of the perpetrators armed themselves in return, and it quickly escalated to homicide. So said the aforementioned Investigator A. After this bloody tragedy was over, they were left with a body which nobody thought was alive. Unknown San has tormented the subject daily with his rough behavior. At first, it was meant to be payback. All the perpetrators were horrified by their deed, and one even turned himself into the police. It was the de facto leader of this group, Unknown, who suggested hiding the body. Reluctantly at first, they soon began to think they did not wish to be caught. The construction site had numerous places to hide the bodies with 6 people. They were originally supposed to hide the body and leave the area, but the de facto leader feared the consciousness of the other 5 wouldn't be able to bear the burden, and came up with a horrifying method to keep him from turning him into the police. He devised a heinous method of splitting up the body among them and making each of them responsible for hiding a piece. Unknown had turned a simple manslaughter into a gruesome dismemberment and forcibly involved each perpetrator in order to create a sense of unity between them. Each one participated. But what does this mean? Person A spoke out reluctantly. Unknown had ordered... Oh my god, the noise. Unknown had ordered each and every one of them to dissect the piece for themselves. They were hesitant at first, but nobody refused. In for a penny, in for a pound. What was it meant? What it meant? Thus, an unimaginable bloody ceremony began. The perpetrators wept and vomited as they performed their gruesome task. There was one person who stubbornly refused, but Unknown threatened them, saying nothing would change if someone ended up dead, and he gave up in his objections. But Unknown's plan collapsed in the span of one night. Unknown, who had refused to dissect the corpse up until the last moment, had broken down into tears at the hospital where he was being treated for an injury sustained during the scuffle and confessed. The criminals were arrested one after another, but the de facto leader's unknown whereabouts are still unknown. Also, the right arm hidden by Unknown has yet to be found. Despite an ongoing search, this horrible individual has so far managed to elude law enforcement. What could the police be doing? It appears that Unknown had said he was going to throw the body right arm into the marsh. Unknown's car was discovered abandoned near the marsh, but there were no clues to his whereabouts. Unknown couldn't trust his companions. One cannot deny the possibility that he had expected his companions to confess to the police, and he used his car as a decoy. Of course, I doubt that theory, since he has no car. One would expect him to have a limited area to which he could escape to, but within the station, there were rumors going around that he had accidentally slipped and drowned in the marsh where he went to throw away the body. To the locals, that marsh is believed to be bottomless. It's unknown as Onikakushi, the ogre's abyss, and it's said that the bottom of the marsh is connected to the hellish world of demons. The atrocious demon from the underworld that was unknown. Could it be that he had returned to the underworld through the marsh? Oh my god, that change in music. The Zijin Dragon, bringer of luck and fortune. Prosperous future. Ladies leaping into your arms. Business success. Promotions, ambitions, protection from harm. Not just with pachinko and horse races, but business and even love. Guaranteed or your money back. Zijin Dragon Bracelet DX, one piece. 27,800 yen. Well, that was certainly a change. Alright. I know I have a half an hour left, but I don't want to end abruptly if I'm not finished with chapter 4. So yeah, I'll be playing. So tomorrow will be Team Fortress 2. Hopefully they have Team Fortress 2 ready by the time I stream. And Friday, Splatoon 2, and the weekends I'll be doing Splatfest while I'm treating with the team. So yeah, thanks for watching and listening to the story, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.